It's a partly cloudy day in Los Angeles. It's raining in the area some distance from here. It may rain before this game is over. The field is quite wet in the center portion of the field as a result of a heavy rain 2 days ago. But aside from that, conditions are quite ideal for this championship game between the Cowboys and the Rams. A little while ago, Pittsburgh eliminated Houston by the score of 34-5. And now the Pittsburgh Steelers, Hank Stram, will take on this winner, and whoever it turns out to be, that'll make for a heck of a Super Bowl.
You know, one thing that's really amazing about this game, Jack, is the fact that both teams are so close, remarkably close, from a statistical standpoint. For example, Dallas is 1 in total offense, 1 rushing, 2 passing. The Rams are 2nd in total offense, 4 rushing, 5 passing. Dallas is 2nd in total defense, 1st against the rush, 3rd against the pass. On the other side of the ball, Rams number 1 on total defense, 2 against the rush, 1 against the pass. And when you go down and look at these stats, Jack, everything is just amazingly even. So really, it's going to be a toss-up game from all indications.
Little to choose from at the outset, and both clubs are healthy. That includes Roger Staubach. He was injured a week ago in the Atlanta game, suffered a concussion, but he will start here today. And for the most part, both starting lineups are very much intact. The University of Southern California marching band is on the field now. They'll add to the festivities here before a sellout crowd of 71,414. The temperature is 65 degrees. Both teams have been on the field. Very shortly they'll return. We'll have the toss of the coin and then the big 60 minutes of football. Rams, the home club here today, will be wearing their white jerseys, and the Dallas Cowboys are decked out in their blue jerseys with the representatives of the two teams, 5 from each club, go to the middle of the field to get together with the referee, Ben Greith, and we'll tune in and let you hear the conversations adjacent to the toss of the coin. You get in a game like this, Hank, I suppose you want the football first, don't you? Or is that necessarily true?
Yes, you'd like to have it first. You sure would. You'd like to, and then naturally the first time you have the ball, I think you want to make sure you call some kind of a play where everybody gets a chance to put a hat on everybody else and get the bugs out. Here we go with a toss.
He calls. It's a hit. Dallas won the toss.
Dallas called heads. They won the toss. And by the way, the wind is rather formidable. It's swirling down on the field, and it will affect not only the punted balls, but the thrown balls here today. The Dallas Cowboys will get the kickoff to start the game. Both teams on the field will soon have the opening kickoff.
Time for the game. A time to relax and enjoy. The thrills and excitement of football action at its best. From Buick, the people who bring you the best in football. Come in and see the great lineup of 1979 All-American Buicks. Skylark, Skyhawk, Century, Regal, LeSabre, Electra, and the all-new Riviera models are starring at Buick dealers everywhere. See your Buick dealer today.
Frank Corral will kick it off here.
You know, if I were the Ram coaching staff, I'd feel much better about playing defense on the first series than I would on offense. And I'm sure they feel a little bit the same way because the emotional level is going to be very high. You don't want to make any kind of a mistake offensively and shrink the size of the field for the Cowboys. I think they're going to be better off being on defense initially than taking the ball, which is going to happen here.
Butch Johnson and Larry Brinson are inside the 5 waiting for the kick from Frank Corral. The Rams are going from our left to our right as we started. We hope you enjoy our broadcast. And there's the kick. It's a line drive kick. And it bounces into the end zone, out of the end zone. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 20-yard line. Butch Johnson never did touch the ball, and he was smart in staying away from that one.
Yes, he was. Because you never know. You try to make an attempt to gather in that bouncing ball, and it could bounce off your hand and, of course, be recovered by the Rams, and you'd really be in serious trouble.
This broadcast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Rams and the National Football League. It is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited. Scott Laidlaw is in the backfield with Tony Dorsett.
You know, I think the Dallas team is going to run left, working on Dreyer from a running standpoint. Here they come.
Here's
left.
The toss to Laidlaw. He's hit at the line of scrimmage. He got only a yard. And he ran into Jack Reynolds, the middle linebacker, and Fred Dreyer, the defensive end, refused to give ground. Why do you think they're going to run left?
Well, I think that they feel, and I know playing against the Rams, you feel that if you're going to run, they're such a great team. Dreyer is very good rushing the passer, very good on outside stuff. I'm surprised they try to run outside on Dreyer. Running inside and at him is much, much better than running on the outside. They try to run outside and didn't succeed in making much yardage. They're going to work on Brzezinski, I'm sure, from a play-action standpoint when they have the chance, and they're going to work on Elmendorf, the strong safety. I'm sure that's going to be a major part of their game plan.
Second down and 9 with Pearson in motion to give to Dorsett. He's hit at the line of scrimmage. He's tackled at the line of scrimmage by Cody Jones. They're playing Jack Youngblood, Cody Jones, Mike Fanning, and Fred Dreyer up front. Jim Youngblood, Jack Reynolds, and Bob Brzezinski at the linebacker spots. Pat Thomas, Rod Perry on the corners. Dave Elmendorf and Bill Simpson are the safeties. And Dallas is faced with 3rd and 9.
They'll go in the spread formation here, I'm sure, Jack. But here again, you saw Dorsett run to the right, and he doesn't look nearly as swift, nearly as decisive running on grass as he does on synthetic turf.
3rd and 9. Drew Pearson goes to the right. Going with him is Butch Johnson. Now the other wide receiver is Tony Hill. Nickel defense for the Rams. Cramwell in there. Staubach back to throw. Rush. Hit. Gets away. He's on the run. He's to the 25. He gets a first down at the 30. He is tackled at the 32-yard line. Staubach, injured last week. Not afraid to run the ball, but he really didn't have much choice. Tackled by Rod Perry after escaping in the backfield.
You know, one thing they did there that's unusual, in that obvious passing situation, they like to go to their spread formation. They used the spread formation that time as far as triple wing, double wing, where 3 receivers on one side, 2 on the other, but they ran it from a normal quarterback position rather than spread. And by spread, I mean he's back there 6 yards deep.
Staubach ran for 11. First down at their own 32. Drew Pearson in motion. And the give is to Dorsett. Goes over the right side, gets 2 yards, that's all. The Ram defense here at the outset looks like they're going to be very tough against the run. And I can see what you mean, Hank, about Dorsett coming off the ball on this grass rather than the turf. He's a different-looking runner.
Yeah, that's right. You know, when he runs from your on synthetic turf, he looks like he's taking a jet, and on grass, it looks like a bus.
Out to the 34-yard line, and it's 2nd down and 8 for Dallas. They received the opening kickoff. They've kept it now for 3 minutes. They're at their own 34. They have a 3-man backfield now with Drew Pearson in the backfield. Goes in motion. They fake us to Dorsett. Staubach's back to throw. He drills it to midfield and is caught beyond the 40-yard line. That'll be another first down for Dallas as we view it from here. Tony Hill made a good grab, jumping high. And I'll say this for Staubach. He had some zip on that ball.
Well, they ran a play-action pass, and they like to throw this pass and hit the tight end or the split end into the post. That time, instead of sending Tony Hill into the post, which means he's going down deep into the middle of the field, he hooked. He normally goes into the post. He stopped before he went into the post. He was wide open. Staubach saw him, hit him a little high, but he made a fine catch. 1st and 10, Dallas Cowboys. But those are some of the adjustments they've made going into this game. Very obvious.
They're at their own 42 with another first down. Staubach with a toss to Dorsett. Slips and falls. Loses 2 yards. He was covered by Brzezinski and Dreyer as his feet went out from under it. And it is slippery right in the middle of the field.
Yes, it is, and I don't know why they try to run outside on Dreyer to the split inside, because that's what he does very, very well. It might be that they're trying to set him up to think that they're going to continue to run outside and then start running inside of him, because if you're going to run on Dreyer, you better run inside.
He's only 230 pounds, not nearly as big as some of the other defensive ends in the league. The ball back at the 40 now. 2nd down and 12, Dallas. Laidlaw, Dorsett in the backfield. The tight end, Dupree, splits right. Hill and Pearson are the other wide receivers. Staubach back to throw to the sideline, and it is incomplete. Only 1 foot was in bounds as the ball was caught by Drew Pearson. He was falling backwards, could only get 1 foot in as he was covered by Pat Thomas.
It's very obvious, too, as I mentioned earlier in the game, they're going to try to work on Elmendorf. Jack, that time they had Dupree split out to the right, away from the formation, and he had coverage by Elmendorf. That's what they'd like to have. They don't think Elmendorf can cover him man for man, and I'm sure we'll see some passes thrown in that direction as we go along in this game.
Hank's talking about Billy Joe Dupree, the tight end. Hill and Pearson go to the right. Johnson's a wide receiver to the left. Double wing shotgun formation. Staubach back to throw. Plenty of time. Looks and throws to the sideline at midfield, and it is caught by Johnson out of bounds. Not enough for a first down. Dallas will have to kick. Butch Johnson caught the ball at the Dallas 48, and Danny White will come in to kick it. Jackie Wallace, who led the league in punt returns, will be back to get it, and the Rams will latch onto the pigskin for the first time today. Dallas kept the ball for 4.5 minutes.
I'm surprised they would try to throw a possession kind of a pass on that situation. There was no chance in the world for Johnson to make the first down. He made the catch, but it was not enough. You would think they'd try to go to their tight end or try to throw something a little deeper beyond the chain to get that first down, but they didn't.
Danny White, who averaged 40 yards per kick, he'll run out of there as he has shown in the past. He is not rushed. His kick to Jackie Wallace bounces inside the 20 and goes out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. And the Rams will go from there at their own 17-yard line. With a score, the Rams nothing, Dallas nothing. Let's take time out.
St. Louis.
Well, the Dallas Cowboys would get good field position if they could hold the Rams back where they are at their own 17-yard line and force them to punt from there. The punt exchange would put Dallas in good shape, and their defense is Ed Jones up front with Larry Cole rather than Jethro Pugh, Randy White and Harvey Martin, Tom Henderson, Bob Brunig, and D.D. Lewis are the linebackers. Aaron Kyle, Benny Barnes are the cornerbacks. Cliff Harris and Charlie Waters are the safety men. Pat Hayden has John Capoletti, Cullen Bryant in the backfield with him. The tight end is Terry Nelson. The wide receivers, Willie Miller and Ron Jesse.
I talked a little bit about what Dallas had to do and what their plan would be. The Rams are not a good outside running team. One thing that you can't do very well against Dallas anyhow is get outside. You got to run at them because they use a flex defense, which means they have people playing off the ball about a yard and a half, and you want to run at those people and also throw passes on first down.
Give to Capoletti, running left, trying to get outside. Can't. Got only a yard or so. Hank Stram was saying it's tough to get outside of the Dallas club. They had split their tight end out in that direction, trying to get some blocking. But Harvey Martin stayed with the play and made the tackle on Capoletti, a gain of only 1, 2nd and 9.
Capoletti on that play is supposed to read the block of the offensive tackle and either go inside or outside, depending on how the right tackle, in this case John Williams, would block the defensive right end, Harvey Martin. But Martin responded very well along with D.D. Lewis, and they didn't make any yardage on the play.
From the 18, 2nd and 9 for Hayden. He has Cullen Bryant and Capoletti in the backfield. He gives to Capoletti on the delay, going left across the 25. Fumble! Dallas has the ball at the 30-yard line. The ball bounced right to Charlie Waters as Capoletti fumbled the ball. Is there a flag down? No, not a flag. It's a piece of equipment, and the ball belongs to Dallas.
And they had a blitz on that time, and talking about Dallas blitzed the linebacker that time. They had a nice cavity to the left side, but as he was hit, Capoletti was hit by Bob Brunig, the middle linebacker, number 53, and Charlie Waters. The ball was coughed up. Charlie Waters recovered the fumble. They have possession, 1st and 10 and a 30 going in.
Well, there's the first big break of this game. And now Staubach on first down. Sends Hill and Pearson to the right. Dorsett and Laidlaw in the backfield. And the give is to Dorsett, looking for a place to go. He crosses the 30, gets to the 25. He is out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Jack Reynolds forced him out. Dorsett did some nifty running. And he gained about 7 yards on the play.
That time they camouflaged their slot formation. They ran to Dupre, the tight end, on the left side. They had their receivers, Drew Pearson and Tony Hill, on the right side in the slot formation, which means they have 2 receivers on the right side. But if you're going to run outside on Dreyer, you've got to run out to the side of the tight end. It's very difficult to run outside when you run to the split inside when he's playing outside position of the offensive tackle.
Dorsett gained 8. It's 2nd and 2 from the 22. They shift into the I formation with Laidlaw, the up man. And the give is to Laidlaw. He gets a first down to the 20-yard line. And over the left side, Fred Dreyer stopped him, but it's a Dallas first down. 9:10 left in the first quarter, no score. Rams fumbled the ball the first time they had it. Capoletti is usually a very dependable runner. He does not have fumbleitis, but
yes,
he did today.
He's a very steady, dependable kind of a running back. And from a fumble standpoint, Dallas fumbled 36 times during the season, lost 18. The Rams fumbled 39 times and lost it 22 times.
It's a first down from the 20-yard line of the Rams. Split backs. Staubach back to throw on first down. Pops it over the middle, and it is caught inside the 20-yard line. And a substantial gain on the play by Dorsett. There's all kinds of traffic down there as Drew Pearson and Dorsett were in the same area. And there was a gain of about four yards, no more than that, on the little pop pass over the middle to Dorsett.
A very bad-looking play, Jack. You never want two receivers. One BB, one shot would have got both of them that time. They were that close together. But you want to make sure that those areas are spread out. That time they were both together, and they were very fortunate to come up with any kind of a gain on the play because Drew Pearson and Dorsett were right together.
Second down and 6 from the 16. Los Angeles shows the blitz. It's a running play to Dorsett. Fakes inside, goes outside, going for the end zone. He's out of bounds at the 2. It'll be first and goal. Dorsett running left, as Hank Stram said they would. Dorsett got to the 2.
Yes, and they caught him in a blitz, which means that, if you're coming right up the field, it eliminates the linebackers. You don't have any pursuit for the linebackers. They didn't have any at all, and as a result, Pat Thomas finally made the tackle, but Dorsett made a big gain. The ball now on about the 3-yard line. Dallas has a great opportunity with first and 3 going in.
Dorsett would have gone into the end zone for a touchdown had not the field been wet down in the corner.
Or if it had been a Canadian field, he'd have made it.
First and goal from the 3 for Dallas. Trying to jump out in front in this game. There is no score. Laidlaw on a slant left. Gains a yard, breaks the tackle, goes into the end zone, fumbles, loose ball, and it's recovered for a touchback in the end zone by the Rams. Laidlaw did not have the ball when he crossed the goal line. He fumbled. The Rams recovered in the end zone. It'll come out to the 20-yard line.
Unbelievable that they would be able to recover from that kind of a mistake without any points whatsoever. The Dallas thing you think would at least get 3 out of that drive starting on the 30-yard line, but they come out of it with nothing. Jack Youngblood made the recovery. It's the Ram ball first and 10 on the 20, and now they have better position than they had initially because they started off on the 17.
Amazing. 7:40 remaining in the first quarter. Timeout on the field with the score. Dallas nothing, Los Angeles nothing.
Don't close your eyes to the problems of harsh, annoying light in your home. Instead, just install General Electric soft white light bulbs from True Value hardware stores for soft, pleasant illumination. Hi, Pat Summerall to tell you General Electric soft whites feature a milky coating inside the bulb that softens the light so it shines without harsh glare and hard shadows. And because there are fewer shadows and less glare, GE soft whites are easier on your eyes. General Electric soft white light bulbs are available now at True Value hardware stores, and you can choose from 60, 75, and 100-watt sizes to fit your lighting needs. So don't close your eyes to the problems of harsh, annoying light in your home. Just install General Electric soft white light bulbs. They're available in popular sizes at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
True Value hardware is more than just a name. It's a way of doing business that means True Value.
Jack Youngblood was just barely able to gain possession before the ball went over the end line of the end zone, in which case the ball would have gone back to Dallas as the last team to have possession. They would have had that ball at the spot of the fumble.
He was very close to losing possession. He was on his back and was bobbling the ball, but finally recovered it. They have it first and 10.
Hayden back to throw on first down. He's rushed. He throws blindly, and it is intercepted. Intercepted by Randy Hughes at midfield. Randy Hughes went up in the air, and Hayden threw that ball blindly. I said it even as he let it go, Hank.
One thing about a quarterback who does not have good size, good range, is the fact that it's very difficult very difficult to get the ball into the middle areas because you don't see that well. You throw it all right to the outside, but in the middle area it's tough to see. Hayden had a problem that time. There was double coverage. Never had a chance to make the completion at all. Never had a chance. And as a result, he has to pay for it with an interception. Dallas has possession. 1st and 10 on the 49.
The question is, what was Hughes doing in there at that time? Dallas must have smelled something.
Yes.
From midfield, the Cowboys go. Actually, from the LA 49. Drew Pearson in motion. The fake to Dorsett. The pass outside. And it is dropped. It's dropped by Laidlaw out of the backfield. So the Rams have had the ball twice. Once they fumbled on the second play. And then they had an interception. And now there's a holding call against Dallas. That's the first penalty of the game. Holding against Dallas. We'll tune the referee, Ben Dreith, in, and he'll tell us about it. The ball is marked back to the Cowboy 40-yard line.
Offensive holding number 68.
That was Herbert Scott, who was called for holding. Now they've moved the ball to the Dallas 41. 1st down and 20.
That was a good play-action pass, and really... Laidlaw was open, just threw the ball over the top and fell incomplete.
Dorsett goes into the I formation with Laidlaw. And here's a toss to Dorsett, running outside left. He gets to the 45, and he's out of bounds before he got to midfield. He was pushed out at the 47-yard line of Dallas by Jim Youngblood. There are two Youngbloods in the game, Jim the linebacker, Jack the defensive end. 7:21 remaining in the quarter, and no score.
Brzezinski had a shot at him on the line of scrimmage, but he missed the opportunity, and Dorsett jumped around the outside. He's leaving the field now, limping a little bit. Don't know what's wrong, but he is being replaced here by Preston Pearson, number 26.
And Dorsett is really hurting now as he gets over to the other sideline.
That can make a big difference because they don't have the blazing speed without Dorsett in that backfield. He's run 6 for 27 yards so far in this game.
Out of the shotgun now on 2nd down. And with Preston Pearson and Drew Pearson both in the lineup. Staubach is rushed quickly and has to throw it away. Incomplete. And a flag goes down. Boy, what a rush that time by Jack Youngblood. The end, nobody touched him. He just went outside. And the offensive tackle, Rayfield Wright, just never touched him.
But they were offside. The Rams were offside. No, it was... I'm sorry. I thought it was the Rams, but it was Dallas.
Illegal procedure on the part of Dallas. 7:17 remaining in the quarter. Dorsett is on the sideline now, and that's going to make a difference. This game is for all the marbles in the National Football Conference. Fighting for the right to play Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl. Pittsburgh defeated Houston today, 34-5. The Super Bowl will be broadcast on CBS Radio.
Number 70.
On January 21st, Rayfield Wright with the false start, illegal procedure. Now it's 2nd down and 20 once again. For Dallas, going from our right to our left. 2nd down and 20.
They'll be in a spread formation again. They are.
Out of the shotgun with Pearson on a wing. Now he sets up in the backfield. Staubach's back to throw. He screens it. Pearson has it. He's tackled at the 39. Another loss on the play. Screen pass to Preston Pearson.
Jackie Wallace that time made a good play. He's a 5th defensive back. Jackie Wallace does a good job of making the tackle on Preston Pearson. And they throw him for another loss.
He ran through the block of John Fitzgerald on the screen. Fitzgerald didn't get Wallace down. And then Wallace got Pearson down. The ball is now back at the Dallas 38, and the Ram defense is holding forth after that interception a moment ago. 3rd down and 23 for Dallas. Cromwell is in, an extra defensive back for the Rams.
I wouldn't think they're not going to be in their spread formation. Staubach is under center, but they still have a double wing formation on both sides.
Staubach back to throw. Roaming loose in the backfield, throws it now, and it is caught at midfield by the tight end Dupree, but he's tackled there, and the Cowboys will have to punt. Dave Elmendorf stayed right with him, let him catch the ball, prevented the 1st down, and forced Dallas to kick.
And that's one thing about Elmendorf. You know, he's a very smart, bright player. doesn't make many mistakes whatsoever, except that he just doesn't cover as well as some of the other people. That's not a knock on him, but it's just a fact. It's not an opinion, it's a fact. And but that time, while the primary receiver was supposedly to be on the right side, he didn't see anybody there, threw back to Dupre, and of course Elmendorf made a great play.
Jackie Wallace stands inside his 15. The sun is shining here. Danny White will kick the ball from about his own 40.
Let's see if he kicks to the left again. He should, and he does.
He does. Jackie Wallace just watches the ball go out into the end zone. Dallas got a bad break. The Rams got a good break. For a moment, it looked like the ball was going to go out of bounds inside the 5, but it changed directions, went into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20. 5:21 left in the first quarter with the score Dallas nothing, Los Angeles nothing. Let's take time out.
What does man value more than money? Rich and rare, the glittering god, gold. This is E.G. Marshall. Join me tonight for a rare look at this precious metal. Watch Gold, a glittering National Geographic special on public television, made possible by a grant from Gulf Oil Corporation. Gulf invites you to watch Gold, tonight at 8, 7 Central on PBS.
Well, not much to choose thus far in the game. Dallas had a very costly fumble. Laidlaw was about to go in for a TD, and he fumbled before he got to the goal line. The Rams recovered. The Rams have fumbled and had a pass intercepted. They're back at their 20. There is no score. 5:21 left in the first quarter. By the way, Isaiah Robertson was a question mark physically, but he is playing on third down plays defensively for the Rams.
Looking at the sideline, looks like Dorsett is walking around normally. Doesn't seem to be limping. I don't know how serious that injury is, but we'll find out more about it as the game progresses, and especially when the Dallas team has possession the next time to see if he comes back into the ball game. But it looks at this time that he's moving along pretty well.
The field is quite muddy in the middle portion of the field, almost from goal line to goal line, and particularly at midfield.
You know, one thing that the Rams have to do, they have to be able to exercise good patience, make sure that they gamble when it's a good gambling situation, but not get themselves in trouble by making a mistake like they did the first 2 times they had possession with a fumble and an interception.
Tight end Terry Nelson is split left. Here's the running play to Capoletti on a slant left across the 25 to the 30-yard line. He got a first down. A 10-yard run with the safety men, Waters and Harris, getting him. Capoletti just kept going. And, of course, everybody is aware of the fact that the Rams are without Lawrence McCutcheon, their best running back.
Yes, and you know, they're doing that. They're splitting the defensive, their tight end with the express purpose of making that linebacker on that side reduce and loosen up a little bit. And as a result, there's more running room on that side, and they were able to make a nice gain on the play.
First down for the Rams out to their 30-yard line. Capoletti and Cullen Bryant are in the backfield. Hayden gives the ball to Cullen Bryant on a pop up the middle, a big surge out to the 35-yard line. Powerful running by Cullen Bryant for 5. Too tall Jones. Ed Jones got him. 2nd and 5 coming up for the Rams.
What they're doing, Jack, they like D.D. Lewis to be the linebacker on the split inside because he's not overly large. They like Henderson to be the linebacker on the tight end side. But when they split the tight end, they make Henderson become a weak side linebacker too, something that he doesn't do nearly as well as when he plays on the tight end.
Ron Jesse is to the right. Willie Miller to the left. Hayden on 2nd and 5, back to throw, swings it out, and it is caught by the running back, Capoletti to the 40, 45. He's almost to midfield before he's tackled. Capoletti caught the ball, a little swing pass. That was 2nd and 5, and that's a tough defensive play.
Yes, and it's a high percentage play, and that's the way you got to play against him. The other thing is Dennis Hera, the right guard, really threw a beautiful block on Charlie Waters, and that made the play go, and that's why it was so effective. He was up there on the line of scrimmage coming up to make the play, but Hera made a beautiful block, and Capoletti was able to run inside of that block and make a good gain on the play.
Capoletti shaken up. Phillips is in there. Here's the pass play down to the 40-yard line. The ball is caught at the 40 of Dallas by Terry Nelson, the tight end, and that's another first down for the Rams. Charlie Waters tackled him. The ball came loose, but the play was dead. And the Rams are on the move with 3 minutes remaining in the quarter.
And that's what they have to do. They're throwing good high percentage passes, keeping the defense guessing, keeping them loose, And it's going to help their running as the game goes along by mixing up the pass with the run on early downs.
Well, the Rams are taking charge here. They have a first down at the Dallas 40. They're going from our left to our right. It is Rod Phillips and Cullen Bryant in the backfield with Capoletti out. And the give is to Phillips on a slant left tackle from behind by Harvey Martin. Doug Franz couldn't take Harvey Martin down, and he latched onto the back of Rod Phillips and took him down. He gained only a yard on the play.
They continue to run that slot formation with the tight end split to the left side, Nelson, forcing Henderson to come out and loosen up a little bit with him, and Waters playing 1-for-1. They continue to run to that side because there's a little bit of a softness there because the linebacker is reducing with the tight end who was split.
Second down and 9 for Hayden. He has Ron Jesse in motion. He's back to throw. Hayden, no pressure, throws outside, way overthrown to Jesse. Coming up quickly was Benny Barnes, but he wouldn't have been able to get there had the throw been good.
No, he hurried himself too much, wanted to get something on it quickly and get it out there quickly to Jesse, but he released it before he was ready, released it way back behind his ear, which makes the ball go straight up in the air. It did that time and went right out of bounds.
1:55 remaining in the first quarter. No score here. Capoletti is on the bench for the Rams. Dorsett is on the bench for Dallas, both with injuries. Hayden has thrown the ball 4 times.
Completed 2 of 4 for 25 yards, 1 interception.
And he's faced with 3rd and 9 from the Dallas 39. They show the blitz, Dallas does. They like to blitz. They're coming. Hayden pops it over the middle, and it is caught by Billy Waddy right at the 30-yard line, and that's going to be a first down on that 3rd down play.
Bad news for the Rams. Capoletti has a separated shoulder and will not play the remaining part of this ball game.
Hayden beat the blitz that time.
Yes, he did, but Dallas tipped it. You see, the advantage that time, they were in a long count. They were trying to anticipate the count. Dallas was, and because it was a long count, they revealed what their intentions were. Pat Hayden read it very well, got the ball to the receiver in great shape, and 1st and 10, the Los Angeles Rams.
Benny Barnes made that last tackle. Nelson splits left. The first down play for Hayden. He gives to the second man, Cullen Bryant. He moves down to the 25-yard line before he's stopped. He falls forward down to the 23. Bob Brunig, the middle linebacker, brought him down. So Capoletti has a separated shoulder, eh?
That's what they say. There again, but they continue to run to their left to the tight end side when he is split, and they're making Henderson play a weak linebacker position instead of the strong linebacker, which he normally plays. I don't want to be too technical, Jack, but that's very important as far as the strategy is concerned. And he's loosening up just enough where they can get a good running room to that side, and of course, running also at Harvey Martin.
30 seconds left in the quarter. 2nd down and 4 for the Rams from the Dallas 23. Phillips and Bryant in the backfield. They give to Bryant, running left, hit at the line of scrimmage and brought down. A good tackle by Harvey Martin. He went driving through there with a good tackle, and he didn't miss. It's going to be 3rd down and 3 as a result of that play. 10 seconds left. There'll be no more plays in this quarter.
Another strong feeling around the league is that, Harvey Martin is an excellent pass rusher, loves to rush the passer, but you have to keep him honest by running at him, keeping him on the line of scrimmage. He pursues well, makes a lot of tackles away from where you run, so you have to run on him, and this is what the Rams are doing extremely well.
When we resume, the Rams will have 3rd and 3 from the Dallas 23. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Rams nothing, Dallas nothing.
St. Louis.
started with almost 6 minutes left in the quarter back at their 20-yard line. They've had a good drive going with Capoletti running the ball, catching the ball. Pass to Nelson moved them down. A pass to Billy Waddy gave him a first down. Capoletti is now on the sideline, and the report is he has a separated shoulder. Not only won't play in this one, but probably wouldn't play in the Super Bowl if the Rams get to the Super Bowl. Now at the start of the second quarter, it is 3rd down and 3 from the Dallas 23 for Los Angeles. Hank Stram and Jack Buck with you from the Coliseum. A lovely day and a hard-hitting football game. Hayden needs 3 yards. He has Waddy to the right with Ron Jussie and Miller to the left. And Hayden on a quarterback draw is hit before he can get to the 20-yard line. He was hit before he could get to the 20-yard line, and he gained about 2. It's going to be 4th and 1. Larry Cole wrapped him up. The center couldn't get Cole out of the way.
Rod Phillips is playing fullback for the injured Capoletti, and of course he's a 4-year pro from Jackson State. 6 foot even, weighs 221, and a very fine, dependable running back.
Frank Corral, who led the league in scoring, is going to try a 39-yard field goal. The snap of the ball is coming. The ball is spotted, and it is kicked, and it is no good. It was a bad snap from center. A bad snap from center, and Corral missed it off to the right. So with 14-13 left in the half, with the score of the Rams nothing, Dallas nothing, let's take time out.
When you say Bud, you said a lot of things nobody else can say. You don't, oh yeah, Bud. You say you care enough to only want the king of spears. There is no other one, there's only something less. Because the king of beers is leading all the rest. When you say Budweiser, you said it all.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Tony Dorsett, injured earlier, is back in there as Dallas will move from their own 21. Following the missed field goal by Frank Corral. He is usually deadly from that distance, 39 yards, but he had a bad snap from center.
And, you know, he kicked 8 straight field goals prior to the one he just missed. And the Rams had the ball that time for 6 minutes and 8 seconds and came away with zip. No points whatsoever. That hurts.
And now, something new. Robert Newhouse is back in action for the first time in a long while for the Dallas Cowboys. He's in the backfield with Dorsett.
And sometimes that's good, and other times, of course, it could be bad because he's not going to be nearly as sharp about reading the blocks and reacting what he sees, not nearly as well as he would have had he been playing all the time. And we'll see how he functions as this second quarter continues to progress.
He had a fractured leg. He could have played last week against Atlanta, but didn't play. He's in there now. 14-13 left in the half, no score.
Let's see if they continue to run to their left.
On first down, they shift out of the eye. They go back into the eye. With Dorsett the tailback.
It's an overshifted defense, and really from a defensive standpoint, they should change it.
Here's a mix-up in the backfield. Staubach ends up with the ball, and he is tackled for a loss on the play of 2 yards. That's what you're talking about, Hank.
Yes, they overshifted the defense that time, and they should have. They wanted to run left. There was a bubble to the right, which means that the linebacker was on their right side off the line of scrimmage. He wanted to change and run the ball there. They blew the automatic and lost yardage on the play.
Jack Youngblood made the tackle for a 2-yard loss, 2nd and 12 for Dallas, back at their 19-yard line. And Dallas doesn't look really sharp. Of course, you have to give a lot of credit to the Ram defense. It's 2nd down now, and Staubach on a delay to Newhouse. Newhouse gets about 4. That's all. On a delay, he ran into Jack Reynolds and tackled before he got to the 25. It's going to be 3rd and long.
You know, I mentioned this earlier, Jack, but it's amazing how much different Dallas looks on natural terrain than they do on synthetic turf. They look snappy, bouncy, quick, and fast. On synthetic turf, on natural grass, they don't look the same at all. Don't you agree?
Yeah, they really look sluggish. They look like they did in the first half against Atlanta last week.
Yeah, they look like they're running in quicksand.
Nolan Cromwell checks in along with Isaiah Robertson defensively for the Rams. It's 3rd and 7 for Dallas. The ball at their own 24. Hill and Pearson are both to the left. It's a straight rush. Staubach throws to the sideline to Preston Pearson, incomplete. Off his fingertips out at the 35-yard line. Jackie Wallace was covering on the play, and it's kicking time for Dallas. Right now, you'd have to say that the Rams look like the better team of the two.
Yeah, the momentum right now at this particular stage of the game is definitely on the side of the Rams, and they have to do something about it. And the thing that you have to do, you have to get points on the scoreboard. That's the thing that you have to do. It doesn't make any difference what you do between the 20s and the goal lines, Jack, in a big game. It doesn't make any difference how you get them. You just have to get points on the scoreboard and make that team play catch-up football.
Danny White will kick from about his 15 to Jackie Wallace, who is at his own 35. The Rams show a big rush. The rush is not very formidable. The kick by White is a good one. Jackie Wallace is going to catch it on the 30-yard line. He was hit by the Dallas man. I expect to see a flag go down, but no flags. He was tackled at the 29-yard line and got the ball back again. He didn't call for a fair catch, and he probably should have.
Well, but he doesn't have to. He should have the opportunity to make the catch. He didn't have it that time. I'm surprised they didn't call it.
I thought there was a penalty because the Dallas man downfield ran into him, it appeared to us, even before the ball got there.
That's exactly right, and he has to have the opportunity to signal for the fair catch or catch the ball. He didn't have that opportunity, and it should have been called.
There's a timeout on the field with the score. Dallas nothing, Rams nothing.
Will that be you stranded out in the cold? Did you remember to add heat to your gas tank to prevent gas line freeze-ups? Start quickly with heat. Heat gas line antifreeze improves combustion and positively prevents gas line freeze-ups. Heat helps keep your engine in tune, extends gasoline mileage, and prevents formation of power-robbing carbon. Buy Heat gas line antifreeze today. Don't stall. Add heat and go. And Heat's exclusive new long neck container easily fits all tanks. Protects your hands from spills and chills in winter's cold. The shape is perfect, too, for those hard-to-reach gas tanks. No more skin knuckles, funnels, or flimsy pull-up spouts. Heat protects your car, and its new container protects your hands. Buy Heat gas line antifreeze today. Don't stall. Add heat and go. Heat. H-E-E-T.
Stage.
12:36 left in the half. That was a 46-yard punt by Danny White. Staubach has passed 7 times, completed 5. Cullen Bryant and Rod Phillips are the backfield men for Pat Hayden. And the give is to Phillips. He gets to the 31. That's all. Between his right guard and center, and Larry Cole tackled him there. D.D. Lewis was also in on the defensive action. This might turn out, Hank, to be a dull game from a spectator viewpoint because of the dominance of these defensive units.
Yes, both teams are so great defensively that it looks like the offenses aren't nearly as effective as they should be, but that's not the case. You have to give a lot of credit to both defenses because they are really super. There goes Terry Nelson again. They're going to split him out and try to reduce Henderson. And let's see if they run to that side. They do. They run to the right side to get Henderson out of the flow and out of the play of pursuit.
The give is to Cullen Bryant. He moves out to the 35-yard line. Tackled by Larry Cole. It's going to be 3rd down for Dallas, 3rd and 4.
You know, that's better than trying to block the guy because if they split the tight end and he goes with him and loosens up, you don't have to worry about him making the play. And it's a very important part of the strategy of the Los Angeles Rams, I'm sure.
Dallas puts in the extra defensive back. That's Randy Hughes. Here is Hayden back to throw. Has time, looks, sings it to the sideline. It is caught for a 1st down. And Benny Barnes made the tackle over there. Coming back to get the ball was Ron Jesse. It's a 1st down for the Rams, and Hayden had some muscle on that throw.
Yes, they did. He put it out there nicely, and here again, another important part of the game plan for the Rams, aside from running especially to their left and running toward the tight end side when he split away from the formation, is a throw on their corners. Benny Barnes, the left cornerback, and Aaron Kyle, the right cornerback, and they threw on Benny Barnes the last time and picked up a nice 1st down.
To the Ram 42-yard line. Miller and Jesse are both to the right. Here's the running play to Cullen Bryant. Right up the middle to the 35-yard line and beyond to the 46. Bob Brunig, the middle linebacker for Dallas. made the tackle. The lights are on here at the Coliseum, but they don't need them now. The sun is shining.
That time, Bryant ran to his left, started to his left, read the block of the left guard, and also the left tackle, Doug France and Tom Mack, but veered back into the middle area when he saw a seam and picked up a nice gain on the play.
To the Ram 46. Second down and 6. Motion by Ron Jesse. Hayden back to throw. He's 4 out of 6. Drops it over the middle and incomplete. Batted up in the air and almost intercepted by Dallas. Henderson got a hand on it.
Rod Phillips that time was really open right down the middle of the field. He made up his mind to throw the ball to Nelson, but Phillips ran his route on the inside of Nelson and then went straight down the field. Nelson went to the outside and then broke back over the middle, but they didn't pick him up at all, and he was wide open on the play. Let's see if they come back to that.
Plus, after that 18-yard ramble by Pat Hayden. On first down.
They should run to the right. The linebacker is loose on that side.
And it's Cullen Bryant slanting to the left inside the 35-yard line. He got about 5 yards on the play.
Yes.
And Hank was talking earlier about running at Harvey Martin, and that's what they did that time.
Yes, you have to run at Harvey Martin because he's such a dominant pass rusher that you got to keep him at home, keep running at him so he can't pursue, because it hurts you more when you run away from him than he does if you run right at him, and that's what the Cowboys are doing very well right now. I mean, I should say the Rams are doing very well against the Cowboys.
8:40 remaining in the first half, no scores. 2nd and 5, quick snap, Hayden back to throw. Looks, throws, flags are down, the pass is incomplete. Pass was intended for Ron Jesse, who made a valiant effort. He was covered by Benny Barnes, and now we'll check the play.
Hayden didn't get rid of the ball soon enough that time. Jesse was coming back for the ball, but he didn't get it to him soon enough and flew over the top. Holding, I'm sure, against the Rams.
It's a holding call, and the yardage is being marked off. That was 2nd and 5. From the Dallas 32. Now the referee, Ben Greif, marks it off. And puts it down to the Dallas 41.
Number 75.
They call it on John Williams, the offensive tackle. 8:34 left in the half, no score. Now the Rams have 2nd down and 15 from the Dallas 41. Rams going from our right to our left. Randy Hughes checks in defensively for Dallas. They expect Hayden to throw. And here is a delay to Bryant right up the middle for good yardage inside the 35.
Another flag
down to the 32 and another flag.
That was a good call with the 6 defensive backs in the game. The run a trap inside. They broke it nicely offside against Dallas, and the play is good.
And now the Rams will have to decide whether they want the play or they want to take the penalty. Randy Hughes and Cliff Harris combined for that last tackle. 8.5 left in the half, no score. Defensive struggle here.
They take out Larry Cole on the obvious passing situation and bring in Jethro Pugh. As a result, he's a good pass rusher. Jethro Pugh is, and so they trapped him that time.
Harvey Martin was called for offside. It is 2nd down and 11 now. 2nd down and 11 for the Rams, and the ball is marked at the Dallas 36.
That time, Tom Mack threw a nice block, a trap block on Jethro Pugh. It's a well-called, well-designed play.
2nd down and 11.
There's no middle linebacker. They ought to do it again.
Hayden back to throw.
Soon.
Hayden slips, throws, and it is caught at the 25-yard line. A leaping grab, and I think it's Ron Jesse who's going to get up off the turf. Yeah, that was a brilliant catch. It was being covered by Dennis Thurman, a rookie from Southern Cal. That's a Ram first down.
Beautiful throw. The timing, all Jesse did was run right straight down the field and cut to his left. The ball was right on the money. He made a nice catch and another first down for the Los Angeles Rams. But again, they are really dominating this game at this stage.
Still no score. 7:50 remaining in the half. There's a 14-yard gain down to the Dallas 22. Hayden with a toss to Cullen Bryant. He gets down to the 20-yard line. He got about 3, went over the right side, and then was hit. He spun down, and Bob Brunig finally put the stopper to it. So once again, the Rams, who missed a field goal here at the outset of the second quarter of 39 yards, are knocking at the door. And it's 2nd down and 7 as Bryant picked up 3. 7:20 left in the half, no score. Into the game is Anthony Davis. He played here at USC, and so he's a real favorite. He's been with the club about 3 weeks now.
And the one thing he does extremely well is run outside. They don't have a good outside runner other than Anthony Davis, and he'll give them that dimension.
Here's the end around to Waddy, and he's tackled for a loss back at the 30-yard line. Man, was he hit by Harvey Martin. Harvey Martin ran right into Billy Waddy on the reverse play, and he dropped him for a loss of 10 yards.
Boy, there's a great illustration. You guess right or guess wrong on that kind of a play. They guessed wrong because Harvey Martin got good penetration. One thing that you can't run against a penetrating defense is any kind of a sideway or reverse. He was right in the middle of the whole thing that time and threw him for a 10-yard loss.
And now they're pretty well out of field goal range. There still, of course, would be a possibility, but it would be a long, long one as a result of that loss. And it is 3rd down and 15 from the Dallas 27. 3rd and 15. Jesse goes to the left along with Willie Miller. Back to throw is Hayden. Looks and throws, and it is incomplete. He tried to hit Willie Miller right at the 5-yard line, and they just missed connections on the ball. And it's 4th down, and Corral is going to be faced with a long field goal opportunity.
Boy, they really missed a golden opportunity that time because Miller was really open on the play had he got it down to the number level or either to the outstretched arms of Miller, but he just got it over the top too much, and it fell incomplete.
Nolan Cromwell will hold the ball. Benny Barnes was covering on that last play, but not very well. This is going to be a 45-yard attempt. Corral missed from 39 yards earlier in this quarter. Trying for the first points of the game. The snap by Reisig is good. The spot is good. The kick is no good. This one is off to the left. Off to the left with 5:55 remaining in the half. And still no points. With a score, the Rams nothing and Dallas nothing. Let's take time out.
The new Buick Century, a practical mid-size car with a remarkably large size inside. A car that gives you an astonishing amount of front and rear seat legroom and a whole lot more in the form of Buick Ride, quiet and comfort. Buick 79 Century. It's good common sense and good clean fun.
After all, life is too
Jack Buck. Hank Stram was alongside, and Hank, that reverse play in the 10-yard loss really killed the Rams on that drive.
Yeah, knocked him right out of the box on the drive, and as I just mentioned to you, Jack, a second ago, you know, that kind of a play is great. It's feast or famine. If it works, it's fine. If it doesn't, you know, you're in real trouble. But you like to call that kind of a play when you're in the scoring area down a little closer, whereby even if it doesn't work, you're still knocked out of field goal range. That time, they were in the critical area, and they knocked them right out of that range that time, and they had possession on that last drive, 6 minutes and 36 seconds, and again, came away with no points.
Let's pause for 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network.
Matters of opinion and critics at large. Informed commentary on News Radio 78, WBBM, Chicago.
Ball has come out to the line of scrimmage, and the Cowboys take over at their own 27-yard line. 5:55 left in the half and no score. And now the Rams have missed 2 field goal tries, 39 yards, 45 yards. Dallas fumbled right at the goal line, Laidlaw did. And there have been a couple of interceptions, turnovers by both clubs, and that's the kind of game it's been thus far, with the defensive holding forth. And any kind of a score on this one is going to loom large as it goes along. Jackie Smith is in as a tight end in the 2 tight end situation for the Cowboys. In motion is Smith. The give to Dorsett. He squirms out to the 30-yard line and got 2 yards on the play.
You notice Dallas has run to the right on several occasions so far in this game, but they haven't succeeded really in making any kind of yardage, so to speak of. Their successes come by running to their left, more so to their right.
Both benches called the plays here. Neither quarterback is on his own.
Pat Hayden calls his, Jack.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. He calls his own, but of course Tom Landry calls the plays for the Cowboys.
Okay, 5:20 remaining in the half and no score here. Second down and 8 for the Cowboys. From their own 30 and a fake draw. Staubach back to throw over the middle, incomplete. Tried to get his tight end. The ball is intercepted. Back come the Rams the other way, and they have the ball with Phil Simpson in possession. And let's see where they're going to mark it. The pass is ruled incomplete. The pass is ruled incomplete. Simpson tried to do a little acting job, but his Shakespeare training was not good enough to convince the officials.
You know, the other thing is, had that been a good interception, he did a very foolish thing by not getting more out of the play. He deliberately ran out of bounds. He had an opportunity to get more yardage down the sideline, but elected to run out of bounds where he could have maybe got 5 or 6 more yards, and those are big yards in that area of the field.
The ball zipped past Billy Joe Dupree, the tight end, and then it was scooped by Simpson. He trapped the ball, and the officials did not miss the call. 5:05 left in the half, and now the Cowboys have 3rd and 7 from their own 30-yard line. In the shotgun and a double wing. Preston Pearson in there for the Cowboys. Staubach back to throw. He is sacked. He is sacked inside the 25-yard line by the on-rushing Ram defense. And it's kicking time for Dallas. In there was Cody Jones, along with Dave Elmendorf, the safety man.
Isaiah Robertson was also in on that play, too, but it was a big play against their spread formation with Roger Staubach back about 5 yards. They were in a triple formation, triple wing to the right, which means they have 3 receivers on the right side, double wing on the left, which means they have 2 receivers on the left side. They didn't have enough protection. The pass protection did not hold up, and, of course, they had an extra man because Elmendorf blitzed in the play.
Danny White waiting for the snap. The line of scrimmage is the Dallas 23. White punts the ball, and it's a bad punt. It lands near midfield and goes out of bounds at the 46 of Dallas. So Danny White, usually very consistent, got off a bummer that time. With 4:27 remaining in the half, the Rams take over on the Dallas 46. A pause in the action with the score, Cowboys nothing, Rams nothing. And let's take time out.
There's nobody exactly like you. And that's why whatever work you do, whatever Ford or Lincoln Mercury vehicle you want, Ford Credit is ready to help. Help with simple, time-saving, flexible plans to make that car your own. You see, the automotive financing people at Ford Credit understand your needs and the importance of financing flexibility. They know how vital it is to tailor payments to your budget, to give you a helping hand if illness strikes, you're laid off, or your spouse quits work. And the credit decision is quick. In fact, your Ford or Lincoln Mercury dealer can handle everything right in the showroom. So remember, when you're buying or leasing a new car or truck, Ford Credit wants to give you credit for being you. Tell your Ford or Lincoln Mercury dealer you'd like to finance with us. Ford Motor Credit.
Danny White previously in this game had punted for 35, 46, and 48 yards, but at that time he had a little bit of pressure, and a 23-yard kick resulted.
You know, the Rams have had excellent field position. They got the ball down to the 23 once, missed a field goal. They got it to the 27, missed a field goal. Now they have it on a plus 46. They better get some points when they have the opportunities with good field position.
Jodat is in the backfield for the Rams. Jim Jodat. The toss is to Cullen Bryant. A good block by Jodat. Cullen Bryant is tackled right near the line of scrimmage, however. Larry Cole stayed with him. And there was no gain on the play. In fact, a loss of a yard as Bryant went deep and then couldn't turn it upfield.
Yeah, they don't have the ability to get outside that well. And again, unless you have blazing speed against the Cowboys, it's very difficult to run outside unless you use a wing formation, or maybe if you run a quick pitch from normal sets to get the ball outside that way. But it's difficult to take the ball from one side of the ball to the other and get outside against Dallas or the Rams.
Capoletti is injured and out of action for the Rams here today. 2nd down and 11 for Hayden. He is back to throw, and on a delay, tackle of Jodad in the backfield. He is dropped for a loss back in Los Angeles territory by Randy White and Harvey Martin.
Well, you have to give both teams, both defensive units, great credit because they are really doing a super job on defense from a run standpoint and also passing spin. They bend a little bit, but boy, they never break.
3:20 remaining in this first half with no score. Billy Waddy is in as a wide receiver. Barry Nelson, the tight end, is out for the Rams. And the Rams have 3rd down and 16 at their own 48. Motion by Jesse, and Hayden back to throw. Stands in the pocket, runs out of the pocket. He is hit right at the line of scrimmage and dropped. Boy, they were waiting for him that time with Charlie Waters right at the line of scrimmage, just waiting for Hayden to run out of that pocket. How come he was so free standing at the line of scrimmage, Hank?
Very obvious. You know, they just didn't block him. Didn't do a good job. And when that happens, why, you're just not going to make yardage.
Waters is shaken up and being tended to. Clock is stopped with 2:50 remaining in the half. Waters were just waiting for Hayden to run out of that backfield and tackle him right at the line of scrimmage. It's 4th and 16 for the Rams, who will have to punt now. CBS Radio Sports starts its coverage of the 1980 Olympics this January with a series called The Olympic Trials, featuring extensive reports on all major qualifying events. You'll hear the Pan American Games, the Winter Games from Lake Placid, and the Olympic Games from Moscow. Listen here for the 1980 Olympics on CBS Radio. The kicker for the Rams is Glenn Walker, and this will be the first time that he has punted today. Charlie Waters is up, trots to the sideline on his own. Butch Johnson and Tony Hill, 2 speedsters, stand back at their 10. And it looks like the Cowboys will get the ball here in the waning moments of the first half. There is no score. How would you describe this game to this point, Hank? You find it dull or interesting?
No, I think it's very interesting because I think, you have to give a lot of credit, as we alluded to just a few moments ago. You have to give the defensive units of both teams a lot of credit for doing an excellent job. So far, it's been a tough defensive game. Really, the Rams have dominated as far as field opportunities are concerned. They've had a chance to kick a couple of field goals and missed both of them. On the other hand, the Dallas Cowboys went in for a touchdown and fumbled, and so both teams have deprived themselves of the opportunity, really, to score touchdowns and score field goals.
Glenn Walker had a 37-yard average during the regular season. He'll touch it off near his 38-yard line. Dallas very good at blocking punts. Let's see if they come. They show a big rush. There's the snap. The rush is not very formidable, and Walker's kick is not too hot. Taken on a fair catch on the 22-yard line by Tony Hill. So the Cowboys will go from their own 22. They've really been dominated by this Ram defense. 2:23 left in the half and no score.
They have really not had very good field position except on that one occasion when they got the ball on the 30-yard line after the fumble recovery, but they didn't take advantage of it and came out of there without getting any points. So far, they've taken over on their own 20, their own 21, their own 27, now their own 22.
That was only a 29-yard punt, but it served the purpose. Dorsett and Newhouse are in the backfield for Staubach. Dupree, the tight end on the right side. Staubach back to throw, stands in the pocket, drops it off to Dorsett, beats a man at the 20-yard line. He is tackled at the 27. Tackle at the 27-yard line for a gain of about 4 on the play. Mike Fanning stopped him. Boy, he's tough to stop one-on-one, isn't he?
Yes, he's big and strong, and, of course, the former great tackle at the University of Notre Dame. But, this Dallas team executes the 2-minute offense extremely well as anybody in the league. Let's see how they do in this particular situation.
And we do have the 2-minute warning. Dallas will have the ball at their own 28, 2nd down and 6. The officials have called another timeout, so let's take a moment for this message.
measure. When you say but, you say a lot of things nobody else can say. When you say but, you've gone as far as you can go to get the very best. When you say but, you tell the world you know what makes it all the way. When you say but, you say you can't nothing more than the king of kings. There is no one, there's only something else, because the king of kings is the one left. When you say but, my God, you say
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
The winners today go to the Super Bowl. Pittsburgh will be there in a cold, driving rain in Pittsburgh today. The Steelers defeated Houston 34-5. The winner of this will oppose Pittsburgh. You come along with CBS Radio Sports. Live coverage on most of these stations 2 weeks from today, starting at 3:50 Eastern Time. Dallas second down and 6 from their own 28. Dorsett and Preston Pearson are in the backfield. Dupree, the tight end, is on the left side. On second down, Staubach's back to throw. Plenty of time. Now he's running, and now he's sacked. For a loss of a couple of yards by Jack Youngblood. He just couldn't find anybody to throw to.
Yes, and Youngblood, it comes off the ball so quickly and has tremendous technique rushing the passer. But he and Dreyer do that extremely well, and they put great outside pressure on the quarterback, and that's exactly what he did on that last play.
Rams call timeout. They want to preserve some of this remaining time. 1:42 left in the half, and Dallas is faced with 3rd and 6 from their own 23. Listen here, fans, for the postseason windup. The Pro Bowl on most of these stations, Monday, January 29th. Hank Stram and I will be here in Los Angeles to bring you the play-by-play and the analysis, and Pat Summerall joined us for pregame, halftime, and postgame festivities and interviews. The Pro Bowl on January 29th. And Hank, we three will be at the Super Bowl. You, Pat Summerall, and I, and that should be a good one with the Steelers in that.
Yeah, it's really been a great season, Jack, a fun season. We've been able to see a lot of great teams, a lot of excellent football, and, of course, to be involved in the entire thing from the beginning of the season to the very end by being participants in the Super Bowl game and then, of course, the Pro Bowl. It's going to be a big thrill for us, too, just like it is for all the teams that are participating.
It's our 24th game on CBS Radio. How many telecasts did you do?
Well, I did 17 radio or television things.
41.
So I've seen a lot of football, Jack.
I'll say you have. Here's the third down play for the Cowboys. By the way, Hank Stram will talk it over with Commissioner Pete Rozelle at halftime here on our CBS broadcast. Drew Pearson goes to the right. I don't think he's caught a ball all day. Butch Johnson is another wide receiver along with Tony Hill. The Rams show the blitz, and the blitz is on. Staubach throws it outside, and it is caught at the 40-yard line on a tremendous catch by Butch Johnson under heavy cover. Great pass play.
Boy, it was right on the money. A beautiful throw by Staubach, and they did a great job of executing that play.
Butch Johnson got both hands on the ball and went out of bounds with 1:37 remaining, and that was on a third down play. It came out to the Dallas 39.
And Rod Perry was covering on the play, and they still got the execution and got it right where they had to get it.
So Dallas keeps the ball. Staubach is 7 out of 10, 45 yards, sacked twice. And here's his first down play from his own 39. With Dupree on the right side. Staubach back to throw. Good protection. Now he's rushed. He runs. He throws. And wide open is the tight end at the 40-yard line, Dupree. And he is down at the 38 of the Rams, and the clock is still running. Rod Perry got him, and Dupree, for a big guy, can really shake loose. He is 6'4", 230 from Michigan State. He's been around. This is his 7th year, and Staubach loves him, doesn't he?
Yes, he does, and justifiably so. But the key to that play was really the fact that Roger Staubach was able to elude the pressure, step to the inside, and deliver the ball to Billy Joe Dupre, who was wide open in that defense against their zone, deliver the ball right on target, and it's another big opportunity for the Dallas Cowboys with a 1st and 10 situation with 1:25 left in the first half.
That was the longest play of the game, Hank.
Yes, it was. It was a scramble play by Staubach, as I mentioned, 23-yard gain. Staubach to Billy Joe Dupre.
Staubach is 8 out of 10 now for 68 yards.
You know, the one thing about the Cowboys, they have so many weapons and so many ways to beat you. You know, you sometimes you get them on the ropes and you pummel and pummel and pummel, and you think you got them in trouble, and all of a sudden they come running out of there, and this is what the situation is right now. The Rams really have kind of dominated this first half, but right now they're on the ropes, and they're going to be lucky if they don't stop them on this drive, because the Cowboys are very effective in this scoring area.
Drew Pearson hasn't caught a ball all day, has he?
No, he hasn't.
He's the big man for the Cowboys, who are now at the 38 of the Rams. Each team has 2 timeouts remaining, and it's a first down at the Los Angeles 38. Cowboys going from our left to our right. Capacity crowd, 71,000 here at the Coliseum. Out they come, and they're in the double-wing shotgun formation. Preston Pearson is in there for Dallas. And on first down, passing play, Staubach looks, throws to the sideline, threw it away, incomplete. Tony Hill was his receiver, but Rod Perry had such good coverage on him, Staubach said no thanks.
Yeah, and he had exactly what he wanted. He was in a spread formation. Tony Hill had Perry 1-for-1, but Perry recovered nicely, covered the ball well, and Staubach very wisely threw the ball out of bounds.
So it's 2nd and 10 from the Ram 38, 1:20 left in the half. Commissioner Pete Rozelle will be in our booth for a visit at halftime.
They just took Brzezinski out of the game along with Jack Reynolds and put 2 more defensive backs in the game to help him on coverage. Nolan Cromwell is in the game now as an extra defensive back.
Robertson, the linebacker, is in. 2nd down and 10.
They're going to try to
The blitz is on.
They're going to try to work on Cromwell.
Is incomplete. Dupree just turned around and the ball was right on top of him. A little pressure by the Rams, just enough to throw it off.
There again, their plan is to work on Elmendorf when they can, or Cromwell when he comes into the game as a 5th defensive back. That time he had some cushion, had some room on him, but the ball was thrown behind and fell incomplete.
1:16 remaining in the half. No score in this game. Here's another 3rd down play for the Cowboys. From the Ram 38, 3rd and 10.
Now they take Youngblood out, Jim Youngblood, the linebacker, and put in Jackie Wallace.
Coming to the right is Drew Pearson. Right on top of him is Pat Thomas. To the left is Tony Hill. Out of the shotgun. Big rush by the Rams. The pass to the sideline, incomplete through the hands of Tony Hill. Pretty good pass. Hill just didn't get to it.
Yeah, he didn't get around quickly enough, and they had exactly what they wanted. They had a one-on-one situation, and anytime you have that with Hill on anybody, I don't care who it is, that's the place to go. He had enough room. The ball was a little high, but it looked like it went right through there for 2 points in the basket.
Danny White is in to punt, and he'll try to get the ball out of bounds. Jackie Wallace stands at his 10-yard line waiting for it. Wallace led the league in punt returns.
Let's see if Danny White now tries to kick the ball to his left instead of it to his right. He should try to kick it to his left. I've mentioned this many, many times during the season, and people probably get tired of hearing it, but it's very important, a right-footed kicker, to try to kick the ball left, because if you blow it and it slides off your foot, at least it stays in play and goes right down the field. He did kick it to the left. It's a good bounce.
It's down inside the 10-yard line, and it's downed by the Cowboys there. White took a little stutter step because the pressure wasn't very great, and then he just popped the ball down to the Ram 11-yard line, where it was downed by Guy Brown, the linebacker. I was surprised that little maneuver on the part of White didn't cause some of his men to go illegally downfield before he kicked it.
Yeah, I think it looked like there might have been some hesitation on his part. I think he was looking for a place to run, but he didn't see any kind of an opening and decided to kick the ball. But he has that option to read the defense in the event that he has a chance to run, to go ahead and take that option and run. But make sure that you're right. and make the first down if you do run. That's the instruction from the coach.
We're scoreless here with 1:02 remaining in the half. We'll see what the Rams try to do with the remaining time. Hayden gives the ball to Cullen Bryant. Bryant moves out to the 15-yard line for a gain of 4. Clock is running, and now are the Cowboys anxious to stop the clock? No. Each team has 2 timeouts remaining, and looks like both teams are content to have a scoreless first half here.
I'm surprised that Dallas wouldn't call a timeout to make them try to at least maybe make them punt again and get another shot.
Yeah, I'm surprised. They're just letting it wind down.
You know, the Rams wouldn't call timeout because with this field position, they don't want to take a chance of making a mistake, but I would sure think that Dallas would want to call a timeout, but they haven't. They squandered away some valuable seconds right before the half.
The Rams a big favor here. The give is to the running back, Cullen Bryant again, over the right side. He got a couple of yards. Now we're down to 15 seconds left in the half. And again, the Cowboys do not stop the clock, so we are indeed going to have a scoreless first half in this NFC Championship game, and the Rams will receive the second half kickoff. Now Pete Rozelle will be our guest here at halftime. There's the gun sounding the end of the first half with a score. Dallas nothing, Los Angeles nothing.
There's a kind of man who's mighty proud of his car, and you'll hear him say out loud, I take good care of what works hard for me. So for my car, it's STP. Yeah, in my car, it's STP. Over 18 million people use STP oil treatment. That's why you see STP oil treatment everywhere you go. At auto supply stores, service stations, discount stores, even supermarkets. All these places stock STP because people want STP oil treatment in their engines. That's what makes it the best-selling oil treatment in the world. I take good care of what works hard for me. So for my car, it's STP. It's STP in me. Yeah.
University of Southern California Band is preparing to entertain here at halftime. Here's the way the action has gone here in the Coliseum in this NFC Championship game. The Rams kicked it off to the Cowboys. Roger Staubach ran for 11 yards, and he threw a pass to Tony Hill, but they had to punt, Dallas did, and he punted Danny White to the Los Angeles 17. On the second play, Cappelletti fumbled. Charlie Waters got it on the 30-yard line, and when Dorsett gained 8, and then Dorsett ran to the Los Angeles 2, looked like the Rams were in trouble. But Scott Laidlaw fumbled right at the goal line into the end zone, and it was recovered by Jack Youngblood of the Rams, and they dodged the bullet and came out to the 20-yard line. Dallas subsequently got the ball back. They were called for holding. They had to punt to the Ram 20, and a pass to Billy Waddy by Hayden got the Rams going for just a while, but the first period came to a close with Los Angeles having the ball at the Dallas 23. They didn't do anything on third down, and at the start of the second quarter, Frank Corral missed a 39-yard field goal try. Dallas got the ball. They had to punt. The Rams had a good one going, but they ended up with a reverse play costing them 10 yards and then a 45-yard miss by Corral with 5:55 left in the half. And neither club could do anything. And the ball ended up in possession of the Rams, and both teams were content to let the clock wind down, and we have a scoreless 30 minutes of football here at the intermission. Well, I wish all you folks could be with us here in Los Angeles on a beautiful, sunny, comfortable afternoon. The temperature was 65 at game time. The Southern Cal Band is entertained. Both teams back on the field. Hundreds of multicolored balloons were just turned loose. They chased all the seagulls away from the Coliseum. The balloons did. And everything's riding on the line in the final 30 minutes of this game for the right To play the Steelers in the Super Bowl, Pittsburgh defeated Houston today 34-5.
You know, I think you have to mention a little something, too, about George Allen. I think he came in here with a strong philosophy. The kicking game, especially, is much improved over past years, and this is something that he stressed early in training camp, and I'm sure that it's a reflection of some of the things that he established early in the season for the Rams.
Oh, Hank is saying that the Rams profited from the early coaching on the part of George Allen, and certainly Ray Malavasi has done a fine job of following up. And meanwhile, it's Tom Landry on the other side of the field, and the Cowboys haven't shown us that big play that they usually prepare for a game.
Well, you know, the reason they haven't done that, Jack, really they haven't had an opportunity from a field position standpoint. They've had the ball on 7 occasions. Normally, in any game, you have it on, you put the ball in play 13 times. They put it in play 7 times. And they started each one of them with bad field position, with the exception of 2. They had it on a +30 and blew that opportunity. They had it on a +49 and had to punt, but all other times it was on a -20, -21, -27, -22, -11, and you can't do much fancy business in that part of the field and take a chance.
Well, the second half kickoff will be forthcoming with the Cowboys kicking from our right to our left, and then we'll be able to check the pulse, check the pace of this game. It's scoreless going in. Jim Jodat, Jodat, will be back for Los Angeles, along with Rod Phillips and Larry Marshall. And it's Jodat in the middle of the 3. Rafael Septien will kick it off. And he's giving a little lecture to his teammates there before the official gives him the green light.
Yeah, he's saying make sure that you tackle him because I don't want to have to make the tackle in the open field. I don't do that very well. And ironically, Rafael was a kicker for the Rams last year, and we drafted him early 2 years ago when I was at New Orleans.
So it's Jodat between Larry Marshall and Rod Phillips as Septien kicks it off from the 35-yard line. Scoreless game for the NFC title. For the right to go to the Super Bowl. For the loser, it's all over. Here's the kick by Septien. High, deep, taken by Marshall in the end zone. 2 yards deep. He's back out to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. He returned it out to the 22-yard line. A 24-yard return. And Bruce Huther was downfield for the Cowboys. Larry Marshall returned that ball. He's a fellow you don't hear much about with the Rams. He is from Maryland. He is a wide receiver as well as a kick returner. This is his 8th year.
And we drafted him initially several years ago when I was at Kansas City, and he's a very fine kickoff and punt return specialist, and was also a defensive back for us in Kansas City.
Hayden brings him out on the 22. Phillips and Cullen Bryant are in the backfield for the Rams. On first down, Pat Hayden back to throw. He is rushed. He avoids the rush. He's on the move, and he's tackled for a loss of a yard on the play. Just nobody to throw to, and once he started running, they stayed after him, and Harvey Martin got him.
Ron Jesse was to come across the field on a crossing pattern, but he got knocked down by the linebacker Henderson. Never had a chance to get involved in the pattern, and that's why Pat Hayden had to eat the football and never had a chance to get rid of it and was running for his life on the play.
He lost 2 yards on the play, back to the 20-yard line.
And Harvey Martin was the one who made the tackle.
Terry Nelson, the tight end, splits left. Miller and Jesse are to the right. The running play to Rod Phillips. He gained about 3 over the left side, and that's all. He was driven back. A swarming Dallas defense led by the middle linebacker, Bob Brunig. So once again, the defenses prevail here, and a minute has gone by here in the third quarter.
You know, sometimes you get away from what you did well in the first half. That, you know, early in the game, they were splitting the tight end, removing him from his normal position, Terry Nelson, and by doing so, he made Henderson, the linebacker on that side, go out with him, so you had a good 3-on-2 situation running-wise, and they made some good yardage. They haven't come back to that play at all, and I'm sure they will, and I'm certainly feel that they should as this game goes along.
3rd and 10, Hayden back to throw. He drops it over the middle, and it is incomplete. He wanted to get the ball to Willie Miller. The ball wasn't anywhere near there. A wobbly pass that might have been deflected, and the Rams have to punt. So they did nothing on their first possession. They kept the ball for a minute and a half.
You know, one thing about this Dallas team, They've been in so many big games. They have so much ability and skill, so many ways to beat you, so many games to win. Well, when you have a chance to score points, you better score points. The fact that the Rams had 3 opportunities and blew all 3 of them, they could really be in trouble here. They're going to wind up with good field position after this punt exchange, and the fireworks should really start to explode here for the Dallas Cowboys, and the Rams have to really be careful.
Here's the second punt of the game by Glenn Walker. They have to be careful to beat that time. And his kick is a poor kick. Butch Johnson takes it at midfield. He's to the 45 of the Rams, slips down at the 40, gets up and dives down to the 37-yard line. So the Cowboys are in great shape after a bad kick. And Dan Reisig, who snapped the ball, was the tackler. And the fans boo the kicker, Glenn Walker.
That's exactly what I was talking about, Jack. You know, you go along and you feel maybe you got him on the ropes, but all of a sudden you make a mistake. You provide them with an opportunity to have good field position, and boy, it's dangerous.
Well, the Cowboys are right down in there, and their spirits will rise as a result of that 28-yard punt, a 12-yard return by Butch Johnson.
This happened last week against Atlanta. Remember, they didn't have any kind of an opportunity early in the game. In the second part of the game, in the second half, they had 5 of 7 great opportunities with field position, much like they're starting this drive right here.
Here's good faking by Staubach, back to throw. He looks, throws deep down the middle, incomplete. Off the hands of Drew Pearson, who got only one hand on it. He was wide open, and had Staubach been on the money, that would have been 6. Pat Thomas was trying to cover, but Drew Pearson ran away from him. You're right, Hank. I'd forgotten about that one Atlanta punt that really did change that game.
Yeah, changed the game around totally for Dallas, and from that time on, they dominated the game completely. And this could be a replay of that if the Rams are not careful, because Dallas is very explosive, especially when they have good field position.
Second down and 10 from the 38-yard line of Los Angeles for the Cowboys, going from our right to our left. Drew Pearson is to the right. Tony Hill is split left. And Staubach goes into the shotgun. Dupree is on a wing. Staubach back to throw. He's rushed. He unloads it down deep into the end zone, and it is intercepted. Intercepted on the 2-yard line. The ball is then taken into the end zone by Pat Thomas. And they're going to mark the ball down on the 2-yard line.
Boy, he really got a shot. He was back in a spread formation that time. And Jim Youngblood was blitzing on the play and really got him right about the time he was delivering the football. He threw it up there, had no chance whatsoever. It was intercepted by Pat Thomas. And the Rams have possession now, 1st and 10 on about their own 2-yard line.
Let's take time out.
When you say but, you said a lot of things nobody else can say. When you say bud, you say you care enough to only want the king of beers. There is no other one. There's only something left, because the king of beers is leading all the rest. When you say Budweiser, you say oh.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Well, the Rams, who had to punt a while ago and only kicked out to their own 38, get a breather here as they intercept. And that is the first interception against Staubach. They're back at their 2-yard line, the Rams are, and they're going to have to punch it out with Cullen Bryant and Rod Phillips.
You know, one thing you want to make sure that you stay away from as much as possible and that is to have to throw in obvious passing situations against their 5-man defensive backfield units or 6-man. It's tough to throw against those 6 people. And that time, they guessed right. They had a blitz coming with Jim Youngblood blitzing from the outside. Staubach never had a chance. He was in the process of delivering the football, threw it up there, and it was intercepted by Pat Thomas. A great interception. Rams have possession, 1st and 10 on about the 2.5-yard line.
Some of these Ram fans want to make the long trip to Miami with their team. The ball is on the Los Angeles 2. They're in the I formation.
See if they run left. Now, this time, Henderson does not go out with a tight end, but they still run left.
Running with the ball is Cullen Bryant. He's to the 5. He is tackled there. He's picked up 3. It's 2nd down and 7. Cliff Harris up from the safety spot to be the primary tackler.
It's not as good to try to run outside to that side as it is to run inside. I'm surprised that they would try to run outside in that position of the field. especially because Henderson was up on the line of scrimmage, and it was very difficult to get outside of him the way he played on that last maneuver by the Los Angeles Rams.
From their own 5-yard line, it's 2nd down and 7. Phillips and Bryant in the backfield for the Rams. Hayden back to throw. He looks, throws outside. Jesse incomplete. Jesse fell down as he made his move. It is very wet down in that corner of the field. He was being covered by Benny Barnes, trying to make a move in front of him. His feet went out from under him, and it's 3rd and 7. So if the Cowboys stop them again on this play, they'll get the ball in good field position once again. And don't forget, we are scoreless in this game. And we're in the 3rd quarter with 12 and a half left in the period. Coming out to the right is Ron Jesse, along with Willie Miller. Tight end is on the left side. Hayden looking left, back to throw in the end zone. Tackled, hit, gets rid of the ball, incomplete, and he was almost tackled for a safety. And a flag goes down in the end zone. Face masking against Dallas.
Boy, what a break that was. And young Pat Hayden really expressed a lot of poise of where he was on that thing by getting rid of the ball like he did. It's a great play. It gets him out of the soup, and the Rams have possession. 1st and 10 on the 20 instead of the 2.
And not only a 5-yard penalty, but a 15-yard penalty. And a first down.
Oh, you talking in face, Clark. 72.
That was against Ed Jones.
You talk about dodging a bullet. Boy, they really dodged one on that last play.
He was almost taken down in the end zone for a safety. Mike Hegman, the linebacker, had him in his grips, but he let him get away. And then Ed Jones got to him with the face mask.
Well, they've got to move the ball and keep the Dallas defense from using their 5 and 6 defensive backfield setups, because it's murder to throw against that kind of a situation.
That was on a 3rd down play, too, folks, and now it's 1st down from the 20-yard line.
Safety blitz.
And running with the ball is Cullen Bryant, and he gained only a yard and a half or so, trying to go over the right side, and Ed Jones crashed in, stopped the play cold.
And Cliff Harris was blitzing from his free safety position on the play also, and ran right by the area where they were trying to run the football.
He did make Cullen Bryant change directions, didn't he?
Yes, he did, and Cullen Bryant really isn't the quickest reacting fullback. He's big and he's strong, and he doesn't make that kind of a maneuver nearly as well as, for example, a player like Dorsett or Anthony Davis.
Cappelletti is out of action for the Rams. They have Phillips and Bryant in the backfield. It's 2nd and 9 from the 21. Hayden back to throw. He fakes short. Now he unloads it. Throwing long downfield. Heavy coverage and intercepted. No, incomplete. Incomplete at the Dallas 40-yard line. The cornerback, Benny Barnes, had his hands on it, but then Charlie Waters came over, and it almost seemed like Dallas had too much coverage there, and it cost them the interception.
Yeah, Charlie Waters came over to help out. He tried to fake a square out pattern, which means he breaks for the sideline after running about 6 yards, and then breaks up the field. In the process, why Charlie Waters came over to help, and really Barnes had an opportunity, it looked like, to make the interception, but because of the collision with Waters, he dropped the football, and now it's a 3rd down situation for the Los Angeles Rams.
Randy Hughes is in defensively for Dallas on 3rd and 9 from the Ram 21. The Rams have the ball. Billy Waddy is in as a 3rd wide receiver. Back to throw is Hayden to the left sideline, intercepted, and this might be a touchdown. Now inside the 15, down to the 10-yard line go the Cowboys. Charlie Waters. Waters intercepted on a 3rd down play. Boy, the ball was right to him on the sideline pattern.
You know, ironically, that was what they were looking for, to get the tight end Nelson on Waters. He had a big cushion, had plenty of room. He just threw the ball behind him, it looked like, from up here. And Waters, playing an inside position, made a great job of anticipating the flight of the ball, made the interception, and Dallas has possession on the 10-yard line going in.
That was a 20-yard run back by Waters. I thought for a moment he might go right down the sideline and score.
It looked like he would, yep.
He cut it back in, and it's 1st and goal.
Let's see if they run left here on the 1st down.
Laidlaw and Dorsett in the I formation. Snellbach gives the ball to Laidlaw over the right side. He gained only a yard. Really stacked up by the Rams there. Will they be able to stop the Cowboys? Will they get the ball back? Will the Cowboys have to settle for 3, or will they indeed get the first touchdown of the afternoon.
That was
Dreyer and Mike Fanning were the tacklers.
That was an unusual call because they evidently felt that they could run to their left, especially on the inside of Dreyer, and yet they went to the strongest part of the defense and didn't make much yardage on the play. Let's see what happens.
Second down and goal from the 8-yard line. Staubach has Hill and Drew Pearson to the left. Has Pearson in motion. He gives the ball to Dorsett. He's tackled, gets away in the backfield, slips, falls, loss on the play. Back out to the 12 or 13-yard line. That's going to be third and goal from there.
Brzezinski was blitzing on the play. The linebacker on the side of where the play was run, it was kind of delayed play with Dorsett running from right side of the ball to the left. He doesn't do that nearly as well as he does from the I formation.
I thought sure they'd throw on the dot.
I did too.
Let's pause for 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network.
We give you the business 28 times each weekday on News Radio 78, WBDN, Chicago.
Dallas from the 12 of Los Angeles. Pearson to the right, along with Butch Johnson. Preston Pearson, the lone setback. Staubach back to throw. Looking, throwing into the end zone, and incomplete. Over the head of Tony Hill. So it's fourth down. And is there a flag down? There's a penalty marker down, and it's going to be against Los Angeles. An illegal chuck against the Rams, and let's see where they mark the ball down. It was third and goal from the 12, and they mark off a 5-yard penalty down to the 7.
Defense, illegal contact, number 27. That's a first down.
It's a first down. It was called against Pat Thomas on an illegal chuck, so Dallas gets another break.
You know, there was a little confusion as to where the defense should line up that time because of the scatter personality of the Dallas Cowboys on that last formation. They really weren't anchored very well, and I think maybe Pat Thomas was a little insecure and tried to make sure he didn't get by him, and there's an illegal chuck on the play.
So it's first and goal again from the 7-yard line for the Cowboys. Laidlaw and Dorsett in the backfield. And Dorsett running over the right side, gets to the 5, and that's all. He gained 2. Jack Reynolds led the defensive charge.
There again, they're carrying the ball from the left side of the ball to all the way over to the right side, and by the time you get there, Jack, boy, that defense of the Rams really reacts tremendously well. It's hard to make a lot of yardage, especially on this kind of a field.
Ball's on the 5. It's second and goal. 9.5 left in the third quarter. No score in this game. A bruising battle between the Rams and the Cowboys. Cowboys in their blue traveling uniforms come out, line up, split backfield, Laidlaw and Dorsett. And Staubach gives to Dorsett, running right, cuts it back up, touchdown! 5-yard touchdown run by Tony Dorsett, the first score of the afternoon. Rayfield Wright was out there leading the blocking.
Yes, sir. And that time they got a maneuver where they were in a good position. They didn't have nearly as well faded or covered on that side from a force standpoint, and he was able to see the seam, break it into the end zone for the touchdown. The Cowboys lead at this stage 6-0.
9:11 left in the third quarter. Dorsett from 5 yards out. Fine blocking by Rayfield Wright. And Septien tries the extra point. Charlie Waters holding the ball. High snap, he gets it down. The kick is good, and the score goes to 7-0. Septien missed only one extra point all year, and he did not miss that time. A timeout on the field with a score: Dallas 7, Los Angeles 0.
Burlington Northern operates from the Pacific Ocean to the Great Lakes, from Canada to the Gulf. To let you know what's been happening along the nation's longest railroad, this is Burlington Northern's monthly report for December.
In the first 10 months, Burlington Northern has hauled 75% more taconite pellets out of Minnesota's Iron Range than during the same period last year.
BN's Board of Directors recently approved a consolidated capital spending plan of $525 million for 1979.
For his conservation work in stocking thousands of salmon and trout in remote streams and lakes, Burlington Northern's Good Neighbor of the Month is a locomotive engineer here from Snohomish, Washington, Bob Herman.
And recently, Burlington Northern and its subsidiary, BN Transport, hauled a 140-million-year-old dinosaur.
The fossilized bones were carefully trucked from a Wyoming excavation site, then piggybacked by rail to the Science Museum of Minnesota.
And nearly 1 million new cross ties have been installed this year by Burlington Northern crews in the Galesburg, Aurora, and Chicago areas.
The penalty following the interception caused the touchdown rather than the field goal. So it's 7-0 now. And Septien will kick it off. Larry Marshall and Rod Phillips flank Jim Jodat, who is back inside his 5 waiting for the kick. 9:11 remaining in the third quarter. Official still hasn't given Septien the green light to go ahead and kick it. Now he does. And there's the Dallas kickoff. It's high, rather deep. Marshall takes it on the 2. Up the left side of the 10 to the 15 to the 20 to the 25-yard line, and that's about all. And downfield was Dennis Thurman, the rookie out of USC, making the tackle. So the Rams have a long way to go. They were intercepted the last time they had the ball.
Now they've got to really show a lot of discretion and a lot of patience. They can't do something flamboyant here at this position of the field, Jack, and get themselves in trouble where they get an opportunity for Dallas to get another good field position. They've got to use good discretion, high percentage plays, and move the ball down the field and get back in this football game. It's a long way from being over.
They're at their 25, the Rams are. They're in the I formation. The toss is to Cullen Bryant. Phillips gets a half a block, and it's a couple of yard gain by Cullen Bryant out to the 27-yard line. Phillips was blocking for him, couldn't clear the way, and Bob Brunig made the tackle.
There was a great illustration of the lack of speed, and this is not a knock on Bryant at all, but you got to be factual. He is not a good outside runner because he doesn't have good speed. By the time he got there was a good alley to run into, but by the time he got there, the defense reacted, and he stretched the possibility of a pretty long gain into a short one.
2 yards, 2nd and 8, Rams, their own 27, going from our left to our right. Dallas leading now, 7-0. Here's Hayden back to throw. He looks and he throws it out on the flat, and a fumble, and Dallas has recovered on the incomplete. Is it incomplete? Incomplete is the call.
Well, they took a long time making that decision.
They really did.
Everybody was standing around waiting for the other official to make the call. They finally made one, but then finally declared that the ball was incomplete. Offside against Dallas penalty.
Yeah, so instead of what could have been, I'm not saying it should have been, what could have been a fumble after Rod Phillips latched onto the ball and then dropped it out in the flat. Then it was an offside penalty against Dallas.
Defense offside. That's 2nd down.
Well, that's the kind of thing you just can't have happen when you're behind like this in a big game. You just can't make another big mistake and give them a chance to get another 7 points on the board. Boy, then it's really murder.
Offside moves the ball out to the 33, makes it 2nd down and 2 for the Rams. They're in the I, and they give to Cullen Bryant. Picks his way out to the 35-yard line. He has a first down, as I view it from up here in the press box. It is a first down for the Rams. 8:35 remaining in the third quarter. So the offside penalty really helped the Rams. Randy White, Bob Brunig were the tacklers.
You know, I can't understand. They have an opportunity if they split their tight end, Nelson, to the left. And with the way the linebacker is playing there, Henderson, who is not used to playing against that kind of a situation, a play-action pass to that side, I would think would be very good, especially on the early rundowns.
On first down now, with Nelson, the tight end on the right side. Rod Phillips can't go anywhere. He's tackled for a loss as he tried to slant to the left side, and Randy White stopped him, and D.D. Lewis finished him off.
It takes too long to get there from that formation, Jack.
They really miss Capilouthi.
Yes, they really do, and yet then they also miss somebody with really outstanding speed. They have to go at this Dallas defense. They can't be running sideways and expect to make yardage and move the ball and get first downs. They've got to run at the people. That's the kind of a team they are. They're a sledgehammer team, and they have got to run at Dallas and not try to be fancy. They run outside more than they have inside.
Here's Hayden back to throw on 2nd and 11. He throws long downfield against Benny Barnes and out of bounds to Ron Jessup. Jesse covered by Benny Barnes. They had one-on-one coverage, and the pass was to the sideline and out of bounds.
You know, the way Benny Barnes plays on a deep pattern, he turns his back to the sideline.
He wasn't even looking, was he?
He wasn't even looking, so as a result, what you should do there is just stop, run a comeback pattern. He would never see the ball, and you'd be wide open on the outside. I'm surprised that the Rams have not done that yet, because on that's kind of a situation, the way he plays defensively, that's got to be wide open.
Jim Jodat is into the game, and Billy Waddy checks in as a wide receiver.
And I think also that Hayden should move a little bit, roll out a little bit, move the pocket a little bit instead of being a sitting duck back in the same area, back in the pocket.
3rd and 11, Dallas shows the blitz. Big rush, he gets rid of the ball, and it is caught out at the 45-yard line. Incomplete. Incomplete is the call now as the ball shook loose. Terry Nelson, the tight end, had it, dropped it when he was hit by the safety man, Cliff Harris.
Well, he really was involved in a split that time, too. It looked like he might have hurt himself, but he came out in good shape. The way he fell, it looked like the old story about, I'll take one leg, you take the other, let's make a wish.
Make a wish.
That's what it looked like.
7:23 remaining in the third quarter, and the Rams, with Glenn Walker punting, have to give it up. Butch Johnson is the safety man for Dallas. Dallas likes to go after that kicker. The rush is not much. The kick is pretty good. Butch Johnson takes it on his 29. Goes right up the middle to the 35, to the 40, and almost broke it. Now a flag goes down. That's probably clipping. The tackle made by Dan Reisick for the Rams, and we'll check the flag. 7:13 remaining in the third quarter. And we have a clip against Dallas. Well, we'll set the ball for you when we come back. With the score, Dallas 7 and the Rams nothing. Let's take time out.
There's a kind of man who's mighty proud of his car, and you'll hear him say out loud, I take good care of what works hard for me. So for my car, it's STP. The man I'm singing about is the kind of man who can work with his hands. A man who knows what he's doing when he changes the oil filter on his car. He knows that filter's got a lot of hard work ahead. So when he goes to buy a new one, he thinks twice and gets the STP double oil filter. It's got 2 filter elements working together full time to filter dirty oil. And when you think of how hard your engine works, that makes good sense. The STP double oil filter when a guy thinks twice about his car. I take good care of what works hard for me. So for my car, it's STP.
7:13 remaining in the third quarter. Hank Stram and Jack Buck with you from Los Angeles, where the Dallas Cowboys have the ball at their own 20. First down. The score is 7-0 Dallas. 5-yard touchdown run by Tony Dorsett, the only points of this game. 2 missed field goals by the Rams. That's been their best effort of the afternoon. And they are facing extinction. Pittsburgh defeated Houston today, 34-5. They'll be in the Super Bowl against the winner here, either Los Angeles or Dallas, on the 21st, 2 weeks from today.
You can't continue to give Dallas good field position. They were checked pretty good on the 7 occasions in the first half, but the first 2 times they had the ball in the second half, they had it on the +37 and the +10 and wound up with a touchdown and lead the game 7-0 at this stage. Here's a reverse.
There's an end around to the tight end, Billy Joe Dupree. He breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage and gets about 3 or 4 yards, and Fred Dreyer really took him down. Dupree's a big guy at 235 pounds, and Dreyer leveled him. He was rather lumbering coming around down there, and that's a slow track. That gets back to what you talked about earlier.
Yeah, he really looked a little like Frankenstein coming around the corner on that end-around play because of the way the field is. It's tough to run.
A lot of rain here in Los Angeles a couple of days ago, and the field condition is not ideal. It's grass field. 2nd down and 7. Dupree is on the left side. And on 2nd down, Staubach's going to throw. He throws over the middle and to the sideline, incomplete. He wanted to get the ball to Drew Pearson, who still hasn't caught a ball today. He was covered by Rob Perry on the corner.
Brzezinski that time was blitzing on the play and forced Roger to throw the ball before he was ready to throw it. He anticipated having a little bit more time. And now they bring in their three defensive backs along with, I should say, two defensive backs along with Isaiah Robertson, and now they're going to throw against that five-man defensive structure of the Los Angeles Rams.
They sure can't run against the Rams, can they?
No, they can't.
Staubach is 8 out of 17 and 0 for his last 6. He's in the shotgun, the double wing. The footing's not too good where he is. He's back to throw. Stands in the pocket and throws, and it's caught by Preston Pearson at the 40. He's to midfield.
Flag
down to the 48 of the Rams, and there's a flag down back upfield, probably holding.
Flag down on the play.
Dallas.
And the Rams have 6 defensive backs in the game at that time. He got the ball there in good shape, but there's a holding penalty, and it brings the Cowboys back.
So instead of having the ball at the Los Angeles 48-yard line, they're going to have the ball, the Cowboys are, back inside their 15 to the 14-yard line. Who was the culprit?
Holding number 68.
Call on Herbert Scott. That's the second time today that Scott has been called for.
That was a 29-yard gain that was nullified by the holding penalty on that last play from the spread formation.
Now on 3rd down and long, 3rd and 16, if the Rams can stop them here, they should get the ball around midfield.
Yes, they should have a good opportunity to do something and get some points on the board one way or another if they can hold them on this 3rd down and long, 3rd and 17 specifically situation.
Butch Johnson is in as a 3rd wide receiver. Staubach back to throw from inside his 5. He is hit and sacked. Hit and sacked by Mike Stanley. And brother, the Rams will really have good field position now after the Danny White punt, which is forthcoming.
A beautiful play, the kind of pressure. That's the 3rd sack by the Los Angeles Rams. And it should, again, as you mentioned, provide the Rams with excellent field position on this punt exchange.
6:07 left in the 3rd quarter. Dallas leading by the score of 7-0. Danny White will be standing at the very end of the end zone. He needs a good snap from D.D. Lewis. And Jackie Wallace stands at midfield.
You know, Dallas came into the game with 58 sacks. The Rams with 47 sacks, so you can see the kind of pressure they put on people all year long.
Lewis with a good snap, and Danny White with a fine kick, pretty well covered. Wallace takes it on the 46. He's still on the move.
He's got a wall.
25-yard line, out of bounds on the Dallas 22.
And no flag down on the play, which is very unusual.
With Mike Hegman, a linebacker, who knocked Jackie Wallace out of bounds on the Dallas 22-yard line. Well, if the Rams miss this opportunity, they're in heavy oil, aren't they?
Yeah, you know, and the worst thing about it is this is the area where they've had most difficulty all year long, Jack. We've seen them in this situation, and they get close, but they can't put the ball in the end zone, and they've got to do it on this occasion because they've got good field position, a great opportunity, and they have to take advantage of it. They blew 3 other opportunities. They better take advantage of this one.
That was a 42-yard punt by Danny White out of his end zone, but a 23-yard return. Jim Jodat is in the backfield with Colin Bryant from the 23. Here's a toss to the running back who barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Colin Bryant just did get to the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be 2nd down and 10, and neither team can run against the other.
No, and it's amazing, but here again, when the Rams did run well, they ran to the left when they reduced the formation by splitting the tight end. They did that early very well, and they haven't come back to it, and I can't understand why.
Still from the 23. Hayden is 5 out of 15. He is 0 for his last 7 passes. And on 2nd down, they show the blitz, Dallas does.
Safety blitz.
The blitz is on. They pick it up. The pass is caught by Jesse inside the 20-yard line to the 16. To the 16-yard line. And it's going to be 3rd down and 3. Benny Barnes tackled Ron Jesse. He really beat the blitz in fine fashion, and Jesse helped him out.
Yes, and that time Harris was blitzing on the place, the free safety, and he tried to anticipate the count again, but didn't anticipate it properly. Hayden did a great job of making the adjustment, got the ball outside in good shape, and a big play for the Los Angeles Rams, but it's still 3rd down and 3.
They're down to the 16 of Dallas, 3rd down. They give us to Cullen Bryant, and Bryant socks in there, and I think I know he's very close to a 1st down.
It all depends on where they mark it. It looks like they made the 1st down
from up here. From up here, it looked like he got a little more forward progress, and the officials are giving him, and it's right on that side, right on that mark. Yes. Bob Brunig, the tackler. This is a coin toss as to whether or not he made it. You'll hear a roar from the crowd. That was a 3rd down play, and he is short.
Just missed it.
I think the field's cooking. It's 4th down and a foot. What do you do, Coach?
You got to go for it.
I wouldn't.
You got to go for it.
I wouldn't.
See what they do.
I'd take the 3 points, but they're going to go for it on 4th down. You know, they haven't been making that much yardage, and the field is very damp where they are now. 4:06 left in the 3rd quarter.
But it's less than a yard, and, in this kind of a game, there comes a time where you've got to take some chances, especially, even if they don't make it, they still got him in the soup. They got to go for it here, Jack.
Okay, 2 tight ends. Charlie Young joins Terry Nelson. 4th down and a foot for the Rams. The give is to Jodad, and he did not make it. I don't think he made it.
He didn't make it.
Went over the left side, and he was jammed, spun around, and I think Dallas is going to take it over. Let's see where they mark it.
I don't think they did make it.
Randy White was the first one to hit him. And the Cowboy players on the field kind of think that they stopped the Rams on that 4th down play.
Yeah, I kind of think they did, too.
They're going to measure. And they didn't make it, Hank.
No, they didn't. I don't think they did. I really don't.
Now, that's a shame if you're rooting for the Rams, and no matter who you're rooting for, they didn't make it. They're about a foot short. No matter who you're rooting for, you hate to see a team gamble and not come away with it.
That's a tough, and just look at the way that offensive team is coming off the field. It really has a dramatic psychological effect on an offensive team when you get down to that close and don't make it. I still think it was a thing to do. The Dallas team is still in bad field position, but, you feel if you can't make a couple of inches, boy, you don't deserve to win the football game.
3:48 remaining in the 3rd quarter. A pause in the action. The score, Dallas 7, Rams nothing. Let's take time out.
Buick announces a car destined to become a classic. The new Riviera. It has the traction of front-wheel drive. It is supported independently at all 4 wheels. And it has almost every power assist available. Standard. The new Buick Riviera. At least once in your life, you should own a car this incredible.
After all, life is to enjoy.
Football season's fading fast with memories of weekends past. As the all-time pro football spectator, all day I blitzed the refrigerator. Spaghetti, 87 yards, a Super Bowl of chili, 4 bags of chips, jalapeno dips, topped off with piccalilli. I tackled all the food in sight, but finally learned my lesson. Sad to say, there's a flag on the play. Penalty, indigestion.
Indigestion, Pepto-Bismol. Pepto-Bismol coats, soothes, relieves. For occasional use, only as directed.
They give Larry Bethea credit for that first hit when they stopped the Rams. Now Dallas goes from their own 13 with Laidlaw and Dorsett in the I formation, the muddy portion of the field. Laidlaw over the right side, moves across the 15-yard line out to the 17 for a gain of 4.
Jodad before that last carry was 1 for -5 yards, but the surprising thing, Jack, really, is Jodad is 5'11", 207, and they gave it to him on that crucial situation. Cullen Bryant is 6'1" and 235. It's unusual they would make that kind of a call and give it to Jodad instead of Bryant when they just needed a couple of feet on the play.
3:15 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Dallas leading 7-0. Cowboys going from our right to our left. 2nd and 6 from their own 17. Full house backfield with Drew Pearson in there. Pearson now goes in motion. And Staubach is going to throw, surprisingly. He swings it out on a screen to Dorsett. He doesn't get the block, but he moves across the 25, gets a Dallas first down, going to the 27-yard line before Jack Reynolds got him. And a flag is down. A flag is down.
Looks like it was against the Rams. Let's see what they call.
Ben Dright, the referee, is going to square things away. The ball is out to the 27 of Dallas.
Yes, it was against the Rams.
I don't know what the call is yet.
Defense, personal foul, roughing the passer, number 89.
Roughing the passer is what it was.
First down.
So it's from the spot of the foul. 15 yards. And it's an automatic first down, of course. And takes the ball out to the Dallas 41. Fred Dreyer unloaded on Staubach.
And this Dallas team will stay on the attack here. When they get good field position, they're not going to sit on anything. They'll move the ball, spray it around, and do a good job of getting it downfield if they have time to execute.
They're in a good position now at their own 41-yard line and leading 7-0. Drew Pearson in motion. On first down, Staubach gives to Jackie Smith on an end around, and he's tackled for a loss in the backfield back at the 31. Jackie Smith was tackled by Jim Youngblood, the linebacker.
Yes, he was blitzing on the play, and in this kind of a game, it's really unusual. They're trying to make something happen, big plays. They got to take some chances sometime, but the reverses that have been called, 3 of which have been called, 2 by Dallas and 1 by the Rams, all 3 of them have been failures as far as yardage is concerned.
10-yard loss on the play.
And that's what they usually wind up being, 10-yard losses if they don't succeed.
So it is second down. More like 19. Second down and 19. 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Dallas leading 7-0. Cowboys have the ball at their own 32. Staubach's back to throw. On second down, he throws long for Hill, and it is intercepted. Intercepted by Dallas. Nolan Cromwell, the extra back. And the Rams take over. Cromwell intercepts. With 1:52 remaining in the third quarter. He had position on him had the ball been thrown better, longer, Hank.
Yeah, and he didn't throw it soon enough. He had him licked, but he waited too long to get the ball in the air. And by the time it came down, while Cromwell had good leverage, the ball was thrown a little bit short. Cromwell was able to come up with a big interception. They have possession, first and 10 on the 29.
Rams from their own 29. Hayden, a first down pass over the middle, and it's caught at the 44-yard line by Ron Jessup. Boy, he's a gutty receiver. He knew he was going to get popped, and he did by Lewis, but he held the ball at the 44.
And the great thing about him, too, is he's an excellent leaper. You throw the ball up on top on him and make him leap for the ball, he's usually going to come down with it, and he did on that occasion. 14-yard gain, first and 10, the Rams.
1:27 remaining in the third quarter. The clock is running. First down, Rams. First down pass coming up. Hayden throws long downfield. A battle inside the 10, incomplete. There was coverage by Aaron Kyle on Willie Miller. That stops the clock with 1:15 remaining in the third quarter, and I bet the Rams wish they had that field goal of a moment ago.
Well, they can't do anything about that now, but the thing they can do is that time Willie Miller was being covered that time by Kyle, and he was playing him tough on the inside. If he went down to the same area, broke to the inside, and then backed out to the flag, there would be no chance in the world for him to cover him because he's playing that inside route so strong. If they could see that, it would be a big play.
Second and 10. Dallas loves this defensively. They really come after you. Rams from their own 44. Second down. And back to throw is Hayden. Rush, he throws. Intercepted by Waters. He's going to go down the sideline, and he is inside the 25. He's down near the 20-yard line. He's tackled at the 20. Waters, who set up the Dallas score a moment ago with an interception, just walked right in front of the receiver and was bumped out by Rod Phillips on the Ram 20-yard line with 1:04 left in the third quarter. Waters intercepts. Once again, Hank, it looked like he was going to go right down the sideline and score. He must not be running well.
Boy, it looked like it was a replay of the other play that he was involved with that brought the ball down in good field position the last time they had possession. But it was a beautiful play by Charlie Waters.
It wasn't an easy catch either.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, we have 1:04 left in the third quarter. The Cowboys are leading 7-0.
And Hayden looks like he's hurt on the play. He's coming off the field. I don't know what's wrong with him.
They're holding his hand. It might be a thumb injury, or maybe hit it on somebody's helmet or something of the sort, but we don't know whether he'll be back when the Rams get the ball again. But what will the score be when they do get the ball again?
That was a 29-yard run back by Charlie Waters, who came into the game with 4 interceptions for the season. He's got 2 here today.
And the ball is down to the 20-yard line of the Rams with 1:04 remaining in the third quarter.
You know, Hayden has thrown the ball 19 times, completed 7 for 76 yards, and completed 3 other ones, but they were to the opposition. 3 interceptions and 2 sacks for Pat Hayden.
And a big fumble earlier in the game by Capoletti, who was then injured and came out of the game. Along the sideline for the Rams, Vince Ferragamo, who played rather infrequently during the year, prepares to enter the game for the next offensive thrust by the Rams.
You know, the first half, the Dallas team only had good field position. When they took over one time, that was on a +30. So far in the second half, they've already had good field position, +37, +10, and now at +20. It's tough to beat a team like Dallas when you provide them with that kind of field position and those kind of opportunities offensively.
Hayden is out. He fractured his right thumb. He's out. Capoletti is out. Hayden is through for the day, probably through for the year. Even if the Rams come back and win this one, he's heading for the sideline and for the dressing room. So they lost Capoletti today. Now they've lost Hayden with a fractured right thumb. And the Cowboys have a chance to really drive the nail here, don't they?
Yes, they really do. And, you know, here again, you think of the Dallas Cowboys as a very flamboyant team, but when you sift through all that stuff, they're really basic, sound, fundamental, and they play for the opportunities, and that's what they've done here today. They were on the ropes, but they survived it.
Staubach on first down. Hands off to the up man, Laidlaw, tackled for a loss of a yard on the play. Scott Laidlaw saw the aroused Ram defense get to him, Brudzinski and others. Jack Reynolds, the middle linebacker. And the forward progress of Laidlaw got him right back to the line of scrimmage, so it's 2nd and 10. Now less than a minute remaining in the third quarter.
And again, I mentioned this earlier, but there's still a lot of time left in this football game. A lot of things can still happen.
Even if Dallas scores here.
Yes, sir.
Extra defensive back. Cromwell is in there. He intercepted a while ago. It's 2nd down and 10. Staubach gives the ball to Dorsett. There's a fumble. A fumble at the 20-yard line. And it hasn't been indicated yet as to who has it. Dorsett fumbled the ball. They're unpiling the players. The officials digging in there. The Dallas players think they have the ball back. And they do.
Dallas does.
They missed connections on that handoff, Hank.
Yep.
Recovering the ball with Pat Donovan. That's the kind of a break that the Rams need, but they didn't get it. They're down within field goal territory for Septien. Even now on 3rd down, if they fail to advance the ball, it would be a 37-yard attempt. And that's in his realm.
That's the end of the third quarter.
Okay, another period has gone by. The end of the third quarter with a score. The Dallas Cowboys 7, Los Angeles 0.
For the reporter on the Dallas Cowboys, you make some important decisions when you're in high school. Here's where I chose to make football a part of my life. As a teenager, you'll be making a decision on using or not using alcohol. The best way to make a responsible decision is to know the facts. There's a booklet especially written for teenagers. It's called Winning Decisions. To get it, write to the Education Commission of the States, Box 687, Denver, Colorado. Make a responsible decision, and you'll be a winner in the biggest game of all, life.
Preceding message by the Education Commission of the States has been brought to you as a public service on behalf of the NFL. Well, 15 more minutes of football to be played here. The Dallas Cowboys are faced with a 3rd and 10 from their own 20-yard line as they try to add to their 7-0 lead.
Further report on Pat Hayden, he's got a compound fracture of the right thumb. Really a sad ending to a great season for Pat Hayden.
I don't see what, he must have hit his thumb on a helmet or something, Hank.
Yeah, evidently so, and that happens so much of the time.
Have to stop the Cowboys on this play and force them to try for a field goal. The only scoring in this game came with 9:11 remaining in the 3rd period when Tony Dorsett went over from 5 yards out. 4 plays after, Charlie Waters intercepted a ball and brought it back to the Los Angeles 10-yard line. Waters intercepted just moments ago and brought it back to the Los Angeles 20, and it's still there, and it is 3rd down. Now we're still dealing with our intermission period here between the 3rd and 4th quarters. Earlier today, the Pittsburgh Steelers defeated Houston. That score was 34-5. Pittsburgh will be in the Super Bowl on Sunday, January 21st, 2 weeks from today, and we'll be on the air at 3:50 Eastern Time with a broadcast of that game. Pat Summerall will join Hank Stram and me, and we hope that you'll tune us in, and you'll get the expert analysis on the part of Hank Stram, and we'll have a lot of fun broadcasting from Miami. Well, here we go on 3rd and 10. For the Cowboys from the Rams 20-yard line. Shotgun formation. Staubach is played all the way. He takes the snap. He's back to throw. He stops and throws, and it is caught at the 10. 5. First and goal for Dallas as Preston Pearson caught it. First and goal on the 3rd down play. Simpson and Thomas bumped him out. Big play for Dallas.
Yes, it was. Preston Pearson was working on Jackie Wallace that time and licked him completely one-on-one on that coverage. Wallace slipped and fell. It was way off the ball. It was a good gain of 17 yards and a big play for the Dallas Cowboys. And really, it's very obvious that the Rams are in serious trouble.
Trying to cash in on this interception for the 2nd time today. Preston Pearson caught that ball. It was not an easy catch. He had to reach down around his knees to get it on a little flare from Staubach, who now has Laidlaw and Dorsett in the backfield. First and goal from the 3-yard line. Dallas fumbled earlier today in a similar spot. Here's Laidlaw hit by Youngblood right at the line of scrimmage. In fact, he lost a yard or two. Jack Youngblood beat his block. He was standing upright, and he enveloped the running back, Scott Laidlaw.
Looked like he put him in a great big laundry sack that time, Jack. He really swallowed him on that last play.
14 and a half minutes left in the game.
I can't understand why they would run to the right, especially when they've had some success running to their left.
It is 2nd and goal from just outside the 4-yard line for Dallas. They have the 2 tight ends, Dupree and Jackie Smith in there. Smith trying to get to his first Super Bowl ever. Laidlaw and Dorsett are in the backfield, and Staubach is going to throw. Throws into the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown by Laidlaw. Scott Laidlaw caught it on the 1 and went in. A 4-yard touchdown pass to Laidlaw over Dave Elmendorf, and Laidlaw got it in there. That's a tough pass to stop, Coach.
Play action pass, and boy, you're all anchored and screwed in there worrying about the run, and it looks just like the run. Well, good execution. Laidlaw was wide open in the flat area and took it in for the touchdown. They go ahead now 13-0, and the ensuing extra point will tell us whether it's going to be 14 for the Dallas Cowboys after Septien attempts this extra point.
Waters gets it down. The kick is good. No flags. 14-0. So 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns. That's been the story of this game. We have 14:02 left. With the score, Dallas 14 and Los Angeles nothing. Let's take time out. kickoff returns are not one of the strong points of the Rams. Yodat is in the middle of Marshall and Phillips. Septian kicks it off with 14:02 left. His kick is high, floating to the 2. Taken by Jodat. And running to the left to the 10, to the 15, to the 20-yard line, and down to the 22. Jim Jodat was tackled at the 22-yard line by Dennis Thurman. 67,470 here today, about 4,000 no-shows. And this game is not over. There's still plenty of time. 13:52 left as Vince Ferragamo, out of Nebraska in his third year, takes over for Pat Hayden, who's out with a fractured thumb. John Cappelletti is out with a separated shoulder sustained in this game. But the Rams have a tough chore on their hands. Ferragamo on first down has Phillips and Cullen Bryant in the backfield. Ron Jesse in motion. Ferragamo's back to throw. He's rushed, he throws. Off the hands of Phillips, covered by the linebacker, Tom Henderson.
They're playing with 5 defensive backs, even on that 1st and 10 situation. They anticipate the pass, and justifiably so, and Henderson did a good job of covering on that last play.
Second down and 10 for the Rams. Going from our right to our left, as you look at the Rams along the sideline, they have a sort of a whipped look about it.
Yeah, it's tough to play at a high emotional level and have things under control for a while and then let it slip away like they did.
Ferragamo throws incomplete. Tried to get it out to Cullen Bryant, but he let him a little too much. Bryant had slipped out of the backfield, was wide open. He would have gained substantial yardage, but it's 3rd and 10. Ferragamo was not on target with that one. Cliff Harris was covering. 13:42 remaining in the game. Ferragamo, Ferragamo, having taken over for Pat Hayden. I mentioned earlier the lights are on, and they need the lights at this moment as dusk arrives here in Los Angeles. Back to throw Ferragamo on 3rd down. Over the middle. Caught! Jesse dropped the ball. Jesse had the ball at the 35. He started to run, and I'll be darned if he didn't drop it. He would have been out to midfield anyhow with that one.
Yes, he would have. It was right on the money, a little bit behind, but he had possession, should have caught it, and would have scampered for a nice gain at midfield at least before he was tackled. But he kicked it out of his arms, it looked like, out of his hands, and it falls incomplete. Now they've got a punt, and Dallas is going to wind up with pretty good field position again, Jack.
Back waiting for it is Butch Johnson as Glenn Walker will kick. Walker will touch it off at his 10. Wait for the snap. Long count.
Yeah, they keep mixing their people around to try to disturb the blocking assignments.
Now that's going to cost him 5 yards. Dallas confused the line blocking of the Rams to the point where the center didn't want to snap the ball. Ryzik.
I'm sure they give them the impression they're going to rush the kick, but I don't think they will. They don't want to take a chance of rushing their kicker. They want to make sure they have possession and try to get another 7 points on the board if they can.
They don't want to run into that kicker, do
That's
they?
exactly right. I doubt very much if they'll rush it. They're pretending like they will by moving people around, but I don't think they actually will rush the kick.
And now Walker will kick it from about his 5. There's the snap.
And they didn't. They got a return.
They didn't rush it, and he hangs one out to dry. Way back to the 36. Taken by Butch Johnson. He's to the 40. He is tackled on the 42-yard line by Jackie Wallace. But the Cowboys are in good field position. We have 13:26 left. There's a timeout on the field with the score, Dallas 14, Los Angeles nothing.
If you can't fly Continental, you might as well not fly. If you can't fly Continental, we'll miss you in the sky. If you can't fly Continental, we'll treat you the way we do. If you can't fly Continental, we're gonna move that cap on you.
Continentals
discount fares give you every kind of savings available in air travel, including Super Coach to Los Angeles for just $111. You get full coach service, regular coach meals, free in-flight entertainment, and no restrictions. Buy anytime, fly anytime. But hurry, seats are limited.
If you can't fly Continental, there's gonna take care for you.
Continental has 5 non-stop DC-10s to Los Angeles every day, all with Super Coach for just $111.
Well, this has not been a blazing football game. The defensive units have dominated the contest for the most part, and only after Charlie Waters intercepted 2 passes were the Cowboys able to score, once in a 5-yard run by Dorsett in the third quarter, and here on a 4-yard pass play to Scott Laidlaw. And now the Cowboys have the ball at their own 43-yard line with 13:26 remaining, and the time will start to hurt the Rams. Motion Drew Pearson. First down, a flip to Dorsett, who avoids a tackle in the backfield, gets out to the 45-yard line, and a flag goes down. There's a 2-yard gain. Boy, the defense and Dreyer in particular almost walked right into that little toss to Dorsett. Jack Reynolds and Cody Jones were the tacklers, and we're checking out the flag here.
They evidently feel they can run outside on Brzezinski and Dreyer, but it's usually very difficult. Holding penalty on the Dallas Cowboys. It takes it back 10 yards, but they haven't really succeeded in making much yardage by trying to run outside to their left. They made some yardage inside, but they haven't made a great deal of yardage trying to run on the outside of Brzezinski, except on one occasion when they caught him in a blitz, and they were able to make a sizable gain.
Offensive holding, number 35.
Scott Laidlaw was caught holding the Dallas back. Now the ball is moved out to the 33 of Dallas by Ben Dreith, the referee. And it's 1st and 20. Lots of time remaining in this game, 13-19. 1st and 20, and a toss to Dorsett trying to run right. Avoids a tackle, but he's down for a 3-yard loss at the 30-yard line by Fred Dreyer again. And Hank Stram is shaking his head.
Well, it's hard to run east and west in this team, and Dallas keeps trying to do it, and they haven't succeeded in doing very much with it, but evidently they feel, for some reason or other, that that's what they should try to do.
Second down and long. Second down and 23. The ball is at the Dallas 30. First a holding call, then a loss on the play. Now we're under 13 minutes left.
Elmendorf and Robertson come into the game, along with the fine young running defensive back Nolan Cromwell from the University of Kansas.
And Preston Pearson is on a wing for Dallas. Out of the shotgun, Staubach back to throw. Has time, and he throws, and it's incomplete. He tried to get it out to Butch Johnson.
And Dorsett hooked in the area between a linebacker and a defensive back, and really was wide open. I couldn't tell who he was throwing the ball to, but he threw it in the open area and missed both receivers.
Elmendorf was covering on the play. That stopped the clock with 12:25 remaining. 3rd and 23 for Dallas. Dorsett goes out. He's not the best at pass catchers.
Well, he catches the ball pretty well, Jack, but he doesn't run patterns as well. He doesn't understand defenses nearly as well, and he doesn't hook up when he's supposed to and take advantage of openings. I'm sure they will not be in a spread formation on this play because they want to have the opportunity to create the fact that they might run too. Let's see what they do.
Preston Pearson is in the backfield. Staubach's back to throw. He drills it over the middle. It's caught by Drew Pearson. He breaks the tackle, moves out to the 45-yard line. And he is tackled way short of a first down. That's the first ball that Drew Pearson has caught today, or the second.
Yes, that's right. And, of course, their approach going into the game, I'm sure, was to work on other people and get the ball to other people other than Preston Pearson, because he's caught so many balls and they look for him as far as coverage is concerned. That last play was for 18 yards, but not enough for the first down, and the Dallas team is going to have to kick.
Jackie Wallace stands at his 15, waiting for the Danny White punt. Rod Perry made that last tackle when Drew Pearson caught the ball. 12:18 left in the game. Dallas leading 14-0. Dallas about to punt it away. No pressure on Danny White. His kick is not too hot. It goes to the right sidelines and bounces out of bounds at the 20 of L.A. So the Rams will get it at their own 20-yard line. They've got a long way to go. They still have time if they can make the offense perk, but they're going to have to count on Vince Ferragamo.
They're going to have to come up with some kind of a big play to get good field position and strike quickly if they have any aspirations and hopes of getting back into this game.
First and 10 Rams at their own 20, 12-12 left with a score 14-0. Dallas, let's take time out.
The 1979 Buick Electra. It's a car of quiet, prestige, luxury. A car that rewards and relaxes you with elegant surroundings and the most thoughtful of conveniences. And its road manners? Impeccable. Driving an Electra is an experience you really owe yourself at your Buick dealers.
After all, life is to
enjoy. 12 left in the game here in the Coliseum in Los Angeles. 14-0 Dallas. Touchdown run by Tony Dorsett, 5 yards. Touchdown pass caught by Scott Laidlaw, 4 yards. Both scores followed a Charlie Waters interception of a Pat Hayden pass. Hayden subsequently suffered a fractured thumb in his throwing hand. He's out of the game. John Cappelletti suffered a separated shoulder in this game early. He hasn't played much. He's out for the rest of the day. That was a 33-yard punt by White. Put the ball out of bounds at the 20. Ferragamo's back to throw, rush, and sacked at the 10-yard line. A sack by Dave Stalls. Stalls in his third year out of northern Colorado. And a loss on the play, 9 yards.
Dallas is playing with their defensive backs in the game now, anticipating pass, and, that's to be expected. But here again, it's a very difficult assignment for this young quarterback, Vince Ferragamo, to move this team against that kind of a situation when they know you're going to throw and they can rush the quarterback with reckless abandon and not have to worry about the run.
He has Phillips and Bryant in the backfield with him. Ferragamo on second down. Gives to Cullen Bryant on a slant across the 15 to the 20. Out to the 21-yard line goes Cullen Bryant. It's going to be 3rd down and 8 for the Rams.
He's got to do more of that. He's got to, in a situation where you have to throw the ball, you have to trap, you have to draw, you have to screen to slow down that rush. That was a good call, a trap play by the Los Angeles Rams with the left guard trapping on the play, Tom Mack, trapping the defensive left tackle of the Dallas Cowboys, Dave Stalls.
Here's a 3rd and 8 play for Ferragamo. His first big pressure play. He's back to throw. Flags go down all over the place. 11:04 remaining in the game. A false start or something of the sort. Illegal procedure against the Rams. Earlier, Pittsburgh defeated Houston 34-5, so the Steelers are waiting to see who their opponent will be in the Super Bowl on the 21st of this month.
False start, number 77.
That was Doug France, the left tackle, at a false start, and makes it 3rd down and 13. And that changes the pass pattern, probably.
And the Dallas team is, again, as I mentioned, is playing with 6 defensive backs, 4 linemen rushing, and another linebacker, Tom Henderson, still playing in the game because he's a good cover guy. Evidently, they feel good about his ability.
Here's the 3rd down play for the Rams. Ferragamo being blitzed. He gets rid of the ball out here in the flat. It is caught by Cullen Bryant, but he loses his footing and he's tackled at the 20-yard line, and the Rams will have to punt. And Aaron Kyle was covering. Randy White was there to knock him down when Cullen Bryant lost his balance. Now 10:45 remaining and the clock running. Rams are in bad shape now, Coach.
Yes, they are. They're in serious trouble because really they seemingly do not have any confidence in the fact that they can move the football. They've had several opportunities and blew all of them. And I'm sure right now at this stage of the game, a beautiful punt, beautiful kick.
All the way down to the Dallas 30-yard line, and it is Butch Johnson coming back up across the 40 to the 44. Butch Johnson took it from the 30 to the 44, and Dallas is in good position. When we say good position, I mean that even if they don't move the ball, don't get a first down, When they punt, they'll still have the Rams way back in their own territory.
And that was a 50-yard punt that time, a beautiful spiral, very high. And but you know, if the Rams are going to get back into this ball game, they've got to force a fumble, intercept a pass, do something to get better field position and get points. Excuse me. Get points on the board. It's that cigarette smoke. It's getting me.
I'll take the blame. Here's a first down play for the Cowboys. They run out of the eye with Laidlaw and Dorsett. The give is to Laidlaw up the middle. He dives across the 45-yard line. Gained about 1.5 yards on the play. Dallas not anxious to put on a show here. They just want to hang on to the ball, move the ball, sit on their lead, which is 14-0. We're coming to the 10-minute mark left in this game. I note here, Hank, that Pastorini was intercepted 5 times today in the rain in Pittsburgh. Steelers won it 34-5.
Oh, they're a talented team, that Pittsburgh team is, and you have to give Bum Phillips and his staff and his team a lot of credit for coming as far as they did with their team. But Pittsburgh is really a super talented team, and they're going to be a great representative in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks in Miami, Florida.
2nd and 8, and here's Dorsett trying to find somewhere to go, and he was tackled right at the line of scrimmage. He was trying to slide over the right side after coming from the left halfback spot. Jack Reynolds tackled him. Now less than 9.5 remaining in the game, and it's 3rd down, Dallas, 3rd and 7. They've had the ball frequently, the Rams have. They just haven't been able to do anything with it. They lost Hayden, they've lost Capoletti. They've had some passes intercepted, and that cost them.
But really, in the second half, they've only had good field position on one occasion. They were on the plus 22-yard line and couldn't do anything with it. Cowboys, on the other hand, have really had great opportunities in this second half and taken advantage of it and lead now 14-0.
Staubach back to throw, and he throws it long downfield inside the 10 and incomplete. He tried to get it to Tony Hill, and the defensive man, Cromwell, stayed with him step for step, helping out Rod Perry on the play.
Very obvious, you know, who they try to attack when they have the opportunity on one-on-one situations. They try to go and take advantage of Cromwell. They try to work on Elmendorf when they can. They haven't really done much with Brzezinski because he's out of there on passing situations.
Here's the punt coming from Danny White. Jackie Wallace stands inside his 15. He gave them a little impetus a while ago with a fine punt return. The Rams need something of that sort to get things turned out. 14-0, Dallas leading. 8:43 left in the game. There's the snap by D.D. Lewis. White's punt is high, short, bounces near the 30, and it's down at the 26-yard line by Dallas. Downfield was Tom Henderson, the linebacker, and he downed it at the Los Angeles 27. We have 8:35 remaining. This would be just about it, wouldn't you say, Hank, if they don't do anything here?
Yes, it's going to be very difficult. They've got to come up with a big play, and they haven't succeeded in doing that the entire afternoon, really, even though they had the opportunities. It's quite a responsibility to expect that this young quarterback, Ferragamo, can get him off the fence, but he might be able to. There's still 8:35 left in the ball game. We've seen a lot of unusual things happen in that short span of time.
Ron Jesse goes in motion. The give is to Cullen Bryant on the running play. Randy White tackles him at the 25, and he did well to get back to the line of scrimmage. This is the kind of a game, Coach, where you like to have a guy like Billy Kilmer come off the bench and pick things up for you. But an awful lot to expect of Ferragamo, who during the regular season only threw the ball 20 times.
Yeah, it's just really a tough assignment, and especially in a big game like this one, and especially when you're 14 points behind, and they know the only way you have to get back is to throw the football, and they come in with 6 defensive backs and put that kind of pressure on you. It's really tough.
8 minutes left, and here's a little swing pass out in the flat. It is caught, but a tackle is made at the 25-yard line by Randy White again. And Cullen Bryant, who caught that little flare pass, and they just can't get untracked, the Rams can't.
You know, in this kind of a game, when you're behind like the Rams are, every time you throw a pass or every time you run, you swear they're playing with 15 people because they're all over the place. All you see are blue jerseys, and they swarm you and suffocate you and make it very difficult for you to get up the field. This has really been what's happened, really, with the drives that the Rams have tried to mount.
7.5 left in the game. 3rd down and 11 from their own 25 for Los Angeles. Ferragamo back to throw. Looks and throws to the sideline, and It is caught at the 45-yard line. He's tackled at the 10-yard line.
That was the big play that we were talking about, Jack. That's the kind of thing that they had to do. They had to do, and they did it. Now the big thing is to get the ball in the end zone.
That was a third down play, a pass to Miller. He avoided a tackle near midfield, went down the sideline. Randy Hughes saved the touchdown, knocked him out of bounds right at the 10, where it is first and goal. 7:08 left. Some of the fans were headed for the exits. They come back now. 65-yard gain to the Dallas 10-yard line. He almost went out of bounds. He was almost tackled near midfield and then shot down the sideline. And Randy Hughes tackled him.
He really made a great move on Cliff Harris, who was a safety man. He twisted him around, but he was finally knocked out of bounds by Randy Hughes. It looked like he was going to go all the way. But the important thing is they still have to get the ball in for the touchdown.
Ferragamo on first and goal. Gives the ball to Cullen Bryant. He's tackled.
Dallas
and he fumbled the ball. Dallas recovered. A big hit by Harvey Martin. Martin just blasted Cullen Bryant, and he gave the ball up, and Martin got the ball.
Oh, that's incredible to have that kind of a big play. Exactly what they needed at this stage of the game.
Why were they running?
Well, they evidently tried to run something up the middle. It was a very slow-hitting play. I thought if they were going to run anything, they might run a trap. But it didn't look like they ran a trap. They tried to run a straight-ahead play, and Martin did a fantastic job of getting penetration, hit Bryant in the hole. They lost the ball, and here they are out of business again with a great opportunity on the 10-yard line. Incredible.
Harvey Martin caused the fumble and got the ball right at the 11-yard line of Dallas. Let's pause for 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network.
Hear live reports from Weather Command on News Radio 78, WBBM, Chicago.
The official Super Bowl game program will again be a collector's item. You can be one of the collectors. The program will feature scouting reports on the two competing teams, photos, and art portfolio of Super Bowl record holders, a special feature on the Lombardi Trophy, and the 12 past Super Bowl rings. You can get a souvenir copy of the book by sending $3 to Super Bowl 13, Winona, Minnesota, 55987. Super Bowl 13, Winona, Minnesota, 55987. The $3 covers purchase of the book, postage, and handling. Please allow 6 weeks for delivery. The preceding announcement is brought to you by the National Football League. Don't forget, you can listen to Super Bowl 13 from Miami, Sunday, January 21st, right here on the CBS Radio Network. Hank Stram, Pat Summerall, and I will be there, and we hope you'll tune us in. Cowboys have the ball at their own 11, following that big defensive play by Harvey Martin. On first down, Staubach, who has played the entire game, gives the ball to the second man, Dorsett. He breaks it. 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, midfield, 45, 40-yard line of the Rams, and down to the 36. Tony Dorsett set the place on fire.
Yes, and they've been side to that side. That's the first time they ran that play inside, Jack. The right guard pulled on the play and did a good job of blocking. But it was a beautifully executed play. Tom Rafferty, number 64, the right guard, made the key block. Rod Perry finally overtook him and made the tackle, but Tony Dorsett scampered for 53 big yards on that play.
On the 6-yard line, we'll call it the 35 of Los Angeles. And 6:15 remaining with the clock running. First down for Dallas. You know they're going to give it to Laidlaw because Dorsett is pooped. They give it to Laidlaw over the left side, and he gained about 3 yards on the play.
And they're playing with 2 tight ends in there now, Jackie. Smith and also Billy Joe Dupre, and they want to just keep everything solid and get ahead on everybody with one-on-one blocking and move the football, take as much time as they can. Time is an ally now for the Dallas Cowboys, and with 5:43 left in the ball game, something very, very unusual has to happen for the Rams to come back and get back into this ball game. They had the opportunity, and then they blew it when they fumbled on the 10-yard line.
Dorsett might get to 100 yards today. 14 carries, 84 yards, 1 touchdown for him thus far. Second down and 6 for the Cowboys. Very tight formation with the two tight ends. They give to Dorsett. Over the right side, inside the 30-25. First down for Dallas. Down to the 22-yard line of Los Angeles, and the Rams look like they're whipped.
Yes, and that time they had two tight ends instead of being in their normal position. They had both tight ends on the same side. Billy Joe Dupre on the line of scrimmage. Jackie Smith on the outside, off the line of scrimmage. They used a wing formation, blocked down, and provided a big hole there for Tony Dorsett. Dorsett now is 15 for 94 carries and 1 touchdown.
First down at the 22 of Los Angeles. Staubach is not going to put it up in the air. The Dallas Cowboys lead 14-0. And on first down, it's Laidlaw picking his way over the middle inside the 20 down near the 18-yard line. He gained 4 yards on the play behind Fitzgerald, Rafferty, Scott, Donovan, and Rayfield Wright. Jack Reynolds made the Ram tackle. And now we have 4:20 left. They want no fumbles, no penalties. Just let the old clock tick away and send them to the Super Bowl.
That's right, and move the ball down the field, and that's all there is to it. And it's very obvious that's what they want to do because they're employing two tight ends, Jackie Smith and Billy Joe Dupre, and they're just going to run the ball and take as much time as they possibly can.
4 minutes left. The ball at the 18-yard line of the Rams. Second down and 6. They go into the I formation. Staubach gives to Dorsett. Goes wide left. And Simpson brings him down inside the 15-yard line. Very close to a first down near the 12-yard line. He went out of bounds and stopped the clock with 3:46 remaining. That's a first down. First down at the 12, and now Dorsett has 100 yards.
Yes, he has.
Right on the nose.
16 and 100 yards right on the nose. As you mentioned, Tom Rafferty, the right guard, was pulling on that last play. Exactly the same play where Dorsett ran for 53 yards or 56 yards in that big gain. They ran exactly the same play that time, and now it's a 1st and 10 situation.
Well, they look good now, don't they, the Cowboys?
Well, they get ahead of you. They pounce on you. Now they get the wingback formation on the right side. They should run right from this formation. Let's see if they do.
Newhouse is in there.
They do.
Give to Dorsett. Newhouse blocking for him. Dorsett gains only a yard, and he is driven back. Jack Reynolds, Jim Youngblood got him, the two linebackers. Now 3:30 left in the game at this moment. It's a pretty good drive, too. After recovering the fumble, 3 remaining. Now we have 3:20 left. And it is second down and 9 for the Cowboys from the 11 of Los Angeles, with Dallas leading 14-0. Pearson is the only wide receiver. The two tight ends, Dupree and Smith. Newhouse in the backfield.
Let's see if they run left.
Here is a rolling right stop back, and he throws on the end zone. Touchdown to Dupree. Dupree for an 11-yard touchdown makes it 20-0. A little bootleg rolling right. He either could have run or thrown. Turned out he couldn't run.
Yeah.
But he had that option, and he hit Dupree.
Yes, and he ran it to the right side, and it was wide open. Dupree breaking across with a double tight end situation. A very good call, good execution, and the Cowboys now go ahead 20-0. With Septien attempting this kick that would make it 21 if he succeeds in putting the ball through the uprights.
2:56 remaining in the game. I imagine that Staubach would have run it in had the way been clear. It wasn't. Then he saw Dupree, and it was an easy touchdown. And it goes to 21-0 now as Septien kicks his 3rd extra point of the day. And the Rams are really down. 21-0. Less than 3 minutes. 2:56 left in the football game.
That's what I mentioned earlier, Jack. You know, they kind of lull you to sleep. You think you've got them under control. It's like a sleeping giant. You think everything is good because, they haven't scored. But the next thing you know, if you don't take advantage of scoring opportunities, the Los Angeles Rams had opportunities in the first half. They had the ball on the plus 23 and blew it. They had it on the plus 46. They had it on the plus 22 and never came out of there. Another time they had it on the 10, but never came out of there with any points. And that's the difference in this football game. Dallas just hung in there tough, played good defense, waited for the opportunity. In the second half, they came out and had a great opportunity with field position, starting on the 37, then on the plus 10, then on the plus 20, then on the minus 42, all of which were great opportunities for Dallas, and they took advantage of it.
They used 4 minutes on that last drive, went 89 yards after recovering the fumble in 7 plays, and Dorsett had a big part of it.
Dorsett had 70 yards on that last drive, and he's really come to life late in this fourth quarter.
Here's a booming kick by Septien to Jodat at the 2. He's to the 10 and running left. He's to the 15-yard line. Can't get to the 20. He is tackled at the 16-yard line as Larry Brinson, a running back, was downfield to make the Dallas tackle with 2:44 remaining in the game. To the Rams' 16-yard line. 2:44 left in the game. Last time they had the ball, the Rams made a big move when Willie Miller caught a pass, and when shooting down the sideline to the 10, Randy Hughes saved the touchdown, and lo and behold, Cullen Bryant was hit by Harvey Martin and fumbled, and Dallas came right back and scored. After a long march, Ferragamo back to throw on first down. He is hit as he throws. It's incomplete. That ball was almost intercepted by Hollywood Tom Henderson.
Yes, it was. And Staubach is 13 for 25 for 126 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 3 sacks. You know, I thought we both kind of felt going into the game, Jack, that maybe this would be the year of the Rams. We thought maybe going into this game, even though that the Dallas team is a very talented team in every regard, why we've kind of felt that maybe psychologically the Rams would possibly win the game, but it's just they had a chance early, but didn't take advantage of that opportunity.
The flag is down as Ferragamo goes back to throw. Throws on the run, and he still has the ball. Now he finally does throw, and it's intercepted. And back come the Cowboys with the ball. Cliff Harris, but now we'll have to check the flags. Cliff Harris intercepted the ball. Was tackled at the Ram 36. Pass intended for Billy Waddy. And now we'll check the flag.
I think Dallas was offside. I think that's the indication. Let's see if that's right or not.
Ben Dreith is the referee. Quite dark now here in Los Angeles. And really dark for the Rams.
Offside, number 72. Second down.
Ed Jones was offside. Second down and 5 from their 21 for the Rams. 2:27 left in the game. Even the PA announcer has his dauber down a little bit. Second down, 5 yards to go.
Well, I tell you one thing. You know, this Super Bowl is going to be a super game with these two great teams because they're both evenly matched and both great football teams.
Ferragamo back to throw on second down, stands in the pocket, throws it, and it's complete out to the 35-yard line.
The tackle made by Aaron Kyle on Willie Miller, but that's a Ram first down. Keeps the clock running. Very shortly we'll have the 2-minute warning. The ball is at the Ram 35. They're trailing 21-0. Each team has 3 timeouts, and we'll have the 2-minute warning before there'll be another snap of the ball. 2 minutes left. There's a timeout on the field with the score Dallas 21 and the Rams nothing. First half of this game was scoreless. Dallas and Dorsett got the first score in the third quarter, and the Cowboys have added 14 points here in the final period. 2 minutes left. 21-0 Dallas. First down Rams at their own 35. Jesse and Waddy go to the right. Willie Miller splits left for Los Angeles. Back to throw Ferragamo, who's 4 out of 8. He throws, and it is caught out at the 45-yard line by Waddy. He dances to the 50-yard line before he stopped. Another Ram first down.
You know, I'll tell you something about this Ferragamo. We've only seen him on several occasions, 1 or 2 occasions, really. But what we've seen of him, he's really got a good arm, a good range, stands in the pocket well, and shows a lot of poise.
Here's Ferragamo throwing to the sideline, and it's caught at the 35. Out of bounds at the 34 goes Willie Miller. That's the 34-yard line of Dallas. Clock is stopped with 1:34 remaining. So your scouting report would show good things on Ferragamo.
Yes, I think they have to feel very good about Ferragamo. And, of course, I've talked to Klosterman several times, and he's indicated.
With the flag down across the field that we didn't see immediately. And we shall see what transpires here. With 1:34 remaining, Dallas leading 21-0.
No penalty. No penalty.
There was no penalty. The flag was thrown inadvertently. The ball's at the 34. Ferragamo moving his club with Jesse and Waddy right. And Willie Miller split left again. And here's Ferragamo from the pocket, throwing outside, intercepted by Henderson at the 35-40 midfield, 40-yard line. Down to the 35 to the 30. He cuts back to the 20 to the 15 to the 10 is Henderson. Touchdown for Dallas on the interception by Hollywood Henderson. And he drops the ball over the goalpost. No flags. The touchdown counts. With 1:19 remaining.
It's always the way it is. We're just bragging about about Ferragamo, but he still has a good arm. Delivered the ball well several other occasions, and he completed that. That was a good completion. He just completed it to the wrong guy. And Henderson
made some good moves, didn't he? Coming back.
Yes, he did. Ran 68 yards with that return for Tom Henderson, and now is 27. It will be 27 if he succeeds.
No, it is 27.
27, yeah, 28. Yep.
68 yards went Henderson down the sideline, then cut it back over the middle. And then he spiked the ball by dunking it over the crossbar. Now Charlie Waters will hold. And Septien will try to make it 28-0 with 1:19 remaining. And it is good. Well, there have been 3 interceptions that led to touchdowns for Dallas. And then a fumble and a long drive gave them their 4th. Henderson is a big guy at 6'2", 220. But he really ate up that ground on the return after intercepting the pass by Ferragamo. And look at the empty seats here in the Coliseum.
Yeah, they're escaping from the premises, and they've been doing that for quite some time in this 4th quarter, because evidently the local fans felt that the game was over when the Dallas Cowboys started to dominate the game in the 4th quarter.
The Rams were 12-4 during the regular season, and then they defeated Minnesota to earn the right to get into this NFC Championship game, winning 34-10, but they're taking it on the chin now. Listen here for the postseason windup, the Pro Bowl on most of these stations, Monday night, January 29th. Hank Stram and I will be here in Los Angeles to bring you the play-by-play and the story of the game, and Pat Summerall will join us for pregame, halftime, and postgame festivities and interviews. The Pro Bowl on CBS Radio on January 29th, Monday night.
Turnovers always play a prominent role. L.A. has had 6 of them, 2 fumbles, 4 interceptions. Dallas has had 3, 1 fumble, 2 interceptions.
Here's a kick by Septien going out of bounds, and he'll have to kick it over. What were the turnovers again, Hank?
L.A. 6, 2 fumbles, 4 interceptions. Dallas 3, 1 fumble and 2 interceptions. And of course, anytime that happens, especially with the good field position that they've had, the Dallas team, why, you've got to be in trouble, and that's exactly what happened to the Rams. They played well in the first half, had many opportunities to do something, get points on the scoreboard, didn't take advantage of the opportunities. The Dallas team finally got opportunities in the second half, took advantage of it, and now lead the game 28-0.
The ball will be kicked from the 30-yard line by Rafael Septien with 1:19 remaining in the game. Pittsburgh Steelers defeated Houston 34-5. The Cowboys are winning here 28-0. It'll be those 2 teams in the Super Bowl 2 weeks from today. Now the kick by Septien is high. Jodat takes it on the 5. Up the middle to the 10, running right 15, 20, 25, and out of bounds near the 30-yard line. At the 30-yard line. Jodat took it from the 5 to the 30 with 1:13 remaining. Should be a good Super Bowl matchup, Hank.
Yes, it will be. Both teams with great ability and skill, which is obvious. You don't get to the Super Bowl game unless you have that. But the Pittsburgh Steelers are totally well and healthy, and Dallas is coming out of this game very healthy. They'll have 2 weeks to prepare for that football game, and I'm sure it's going to be one of the best ever.
Jodat stays in the backfield for the Rams with Ferragamo quarterbacking. We'll repeat that Pat Hayden fractured his thumb and left the game. John Cappelletti separated a shoulder and he left the game. Ferragamo on first down passes. Up the middle and incomplete behind the intended receiver, who was Ron Smith, the rookie out of San Diego State. 1:08 left. Henderson's return of that interception for 68 yards is an NFC playoff record. Don Paul of Cleveland had returned one previously of 65 yards. That was way back in 1955. Second down and 10 for the Rams from their own 30-yard line. Ferragamo back to throw against a 3-man rush. Drills it over the middle and incomplete at the 40-yard line. Double coverage there on the intended receiver. It was Preston Denard, a rookie out of New Mexico, who's getting some playing time. Well, it's all over for Ray Malavasi, Don Klosterman, Carol Rosenblum, and all of the Rams for the year. They had a good season, Hank.
Yes, they did, and they can't forget that part of it. They can't take that away from them. I know it's a very disappointing thing to wind up the season like this, losing decisively to a great team like Dallas, but they've got a lot of things to be proud of, and I'm sure that they'll do everything they possibly can to recapture the people they lost last year, or this year, and be ready for next season.
3rd and 10. Here's a pass caught out at the 40-yard line by Dwight Scales, and that's a Ram first down. Keeps the clock running. 50 seconds remaining. Each team has 3 timeouts, but nobody is anxious to stop the clock. The Rams are out to their own 47-yard line. First down. Here's the snap of the ball and the pass incomplete out on the flat to Billy Waddy. 38 seconds left. Rams would still like to get on the board, but the way those Cowboys are spread out on defense, it's going to be difficult. 2nd down and 10. The Cowboys did this to the Rams back in 1975 for the NFC title. Won it 37-7. And here, after a scoreless first half and with 3 touchdowns here in the 4th quarter, Cowboys lead 28-0. From their own 48, 2nd down and 10 for the Rams with 38 seconds remaining. Pregame back to throw, a 3-man rush. Here's the pass to the sideline and intercepted by Dallas. And then the tackle was made along the sideline. And it was a rough tackle, too, at that. That was Cliff Harris who intercepted that one. So Waters picked off a couple, and now Harris has picked one off. And how many turnovers is that for the Rams? 7?
That's 7.
Here's Staubach taking the ball and just falling down. The official blows the whistle, stopping the play. The clock runs. The Rams won't stop it. And that's going to be the final score, 28-0. The end of the game between the Rams and the Cowboys. The final score was Dallas 28 and Los Angeles 0.